Going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, Mashle, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. Back this week covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 46. I'm your host, Eagle.
What up, Skicko?
Noxie.
And Nickums.
And as always, before we get started, just quickly before I say what we always say, apologies for being a bit late. Obviously the chapters came out a little early. We would have liked to have had the episode out early as well, but since the week was so hype, we kind of all wanted to be on this episode, so there was a little bit of scheduling conflicts. And with that being said, as always, visit that link tree in the description box down below, where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to support the podcast if you would be so inclined, such as the link to our Patreon you can check out, where you can obviously subscribe to different tiers of extra content that we release on a weekly basis that range from, or on a monthly basis that range from, early access to all of our weekly content all the way up to a second shonen-centric podcast that we do week to week, covering 5 different books. So, yeah. Check them out. Check that out. Check all those links out. And while you're down there, slap a like on the video and subscribe.
Yes.
And with all that being said, also timestamps to skip to segments that you would like to view.
Yes.
Spoilers. Sorry, I always forget to say that. Now, how you guys feeling about this weekend jump?
Oh man, more than excited. And the gang is all here. Clap.
First full week.
Gang is all here. Roster's full. And
fantastic week.
It's a couple days
week.
later than we'd usually have wanted to do this, so we're all probably really antsy to get talking about shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, shit. Let's jump right into it then. You know what time it is. Chapter 43 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
143.
Shibuya Incident Part 126. The chapter should be named Clap, Bitch, Boogie, Woogie, Me and Noxie Feasting.
Let's go, bro.
What the fuck are you
Wow.
Bro.
feasting out here? We got the
feasting?
banquet.
Yes.
Yo.
But what if Toto gets one shot? What if he gets
No,
flash
stop.
one shot?
Don't ruin this for us.
Shut your mouth
Don't
right
ruin
now.
this for us, you bastard.
Hey,
why not? It's fun.
Yeah, let's kick him from the call.
Yeah.
But no, dude, this is...
You'd lose half your viewership, so you can't do that.
I could have sworn we got twice the views last time you were gone, but hey.
I've never been gone.
I've never been gone. But no, man, this chapter is amazing. I can't believe that we actually got the scene that we wanted so bad.
Yeah.
That we knew it had it had to happen that way, bro. We haven't seen Toto since
We've said this a million times.
We haven't seen Toto since
Yeah.
Exchange Festival, and that's just such a perfect entrance for his character, especially if Yuji's going to be getting his ass whooped up and down the arc. You know what I'm saying? It had to.
But you know what this means, right? This means and this is, I don't know why people, you could say that the Kyoto school wasn't going to pull up, but they're all going to be here, right? I feel like they are. Just think about a fucking Noritoshi versus Choso fight. That's got to go down, bro. That's got to happen.
I feel like that's happening way later in the life of the series, just because Choso's current mental state.
But that might be a reason why Noritoshi can beat him right now.
Yeah,
I don't think he could beat fucking Choso. Because how? He has to actually use fucking blood bags and shit. So he's not using his own blood, So and if he ever did any of that non-coagulation of the blood but he died. He can't do anything that Choso can do. So this is a good time that they can have a good fight, I think.
Yeah. Plus, but at the same time, I feel like I want Choso to kind of leave this arc. I feel like he's probably not going to come back, but if he does, that would be a really cool situation. But I feel like I would rather have him leave and then go to rally the Kamo. You know what I'm saying? Let him know his situation, let him know his capabilities, see where he kind of like falls on the food chain, probably really high inside of that clan. Who knows? But I would assume that he's going to want to go get the rest of the death paintings, rally the Kamo around his cause or his will in some kind of way, or at least join their faction to some degree for a while. I feel like them linking and Choso being like a major antagonist later on in the series, backed by the Kamo, would be a more interesting situation than him potentially coming back here and dying by the end of this arc.
You're thinking Kamos are going to flip and actually run with Choso and oppose the Jujutsu world.
Maybe. Yeah. I feel like they have a lot of I feel like with Gojo being sealed, which Choso obviously has that information of, obviously that information is going to be widespread knowledge pretty soon here if it's not already. So this is a perfect opportunity for that power balance to shift in someone's direction. So obviously you would assume that all the clans would want a piece of that.
Yeah, but this would be great for Mai to pull up and see fucking Maki and Nobito fucked up. Like, I mean, there's just so many like connections here, you know, like obviously we still have a Mekamaru AirPod floating around, which could be the reason why we're here today with Todo.
Right.
But like you would think, all right, I'm going to get my whole team. I'm not just grabbing Todo. It's like, I'm, you know, pull up Kyoto. You got guitar guy. You always remember
Gaku Ganji.
Gaku Ganji. Like, is he good? Except for he's a bitch and he don't really want to actually put himself in harm's way unless he knows
he's gonna turn up, bro.
He's gonna turn up the amplifier on his fucking guitar one time and rock out, but
that's turn up dead.
He's strong.
Yeah, of course he's strong, but Gojo
soft.
Even like when you're just watching the anime too, is like the leaders, whatever the higher ups in the Jujutsu world basically are, you know, they're just protecting their own skin type, you know, like they're only trying to do whatever's in their best interest. And who do you see? You see Gaku Ganji is the one that's shown at that time, you know, which obviously you don't really know any of the other higher ups other than, you know, Yaga, because we just met him in the anime. But yeah, I mean, I just think that there's just a lot of opportunity for these characters to get more time. Now we got to get familiar with them, you know, and especially since like Mai and
Miwa.
Why am I drawing? Not Miwa. Miwa's tight as fuck. I love Momo. Yes, Momo. Mai and Momo fought fucking Nobara, and I, you know, talked about all that shit where she got hit in the left side of her face twice that I was talking about a couple weeks ago.
So you can't scar your face. You got to be pretty when you're a girl. You got to be tight and hot.
Yep. So like these. So these girls pulling up and seeing out what Nobara's situation is like. There's just like a lot of like
reasons for them to pull up and see what's going on here, because that's going to create significant plot moments later on in this like.
Yeah, and we need more development from these characters too, right? Like this is a good time to get some.
They got to
development
come here
from these
and see
characters.
some shit that's going on here, so that they can get development too. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I like that. So going into the chapter though, man, this flashback hits super hard because it's just like you know, it's just them kicking it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like moments that like on top of like Nobara flashback that we got obviously last chapter, and then going into this chapter where like so now we got the Nobara flashback. We've been wanting that, but then we've also just been wanting more trio moments. You know what I mean? So obviously,
I feel like also this is like a so common of the type of flashback you have, like from Yuji's perspective, right? Like you think someone you love is dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, say you're grieving and you're like, you think of the most dumbass story. You know what I mean? Like this kind of story is the exact kind of thing that would really set you off in a bad way.
Yeah. Yeah. First thing you're going to do is think about all the funniest moments that you've had with other people and all the most human moments that you had with them.
Yeah. Did any of you guys look up this Marimekko clothing line?
No.
It's literally all these just flowers. Just flowers. Everything is flowers. Everything is floral.
Pattern.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I mean, it's a clothing line. I'm pretty sure it's its own company.
Oh, wow.
At least there was one. Yeah, that's what I saw looking online. But yeah, it's you know, obviously like you said, like just for you know, just look back on their bonding time and stuff like that, which is really important. And we learn here. I mean, we get a little bit more into the fact that Gojo is balling, man. Gojo is balling so hard. Like, who was it? I think it was Yuki who saw his like how much he got paid for a mission or something like that, and it was like, oh, all right, you got like, you know, you got 1 million yen, which is like whatever, like what is that, 10,000, 100,000? Would be $100,000?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 to 1 or some shit. for the exchange.
Yeah, I think
it's like 100 to 1, so it'd be like 10 grand.
Yeah. Okay, so like, oh yeah, you got 10 grand for a little mission here, or whatnot. Like, and he was sitting on some like really expensive couch at some point. I remember too. Yeah, that they mentioned, like they mention it by name, like what kind of couch it is. So Gojo's balling out here, and obviously, why would he not be if he
is number the biggest missions, in the biggest profession in the world? Yeah,
exactly. But like just because you make all that money doesn't mean you got to buy this ridiculous ass shirt over here.
You could live simply, but come on, it's Gojo we're talking here.
$2,500 shirt,
Yeah,
living simply is not in his dictionary.
Right.
I mean, not with an ability like that. That's just he doesn't live simply in his mind at any time.
Yeah.
But damn, like after this flashback and you see Yuji's face on the bottom of page 6 or whatever, that is a very it's hard for me to look at that face of his. I hate seeing him like that.
And I made a tweet. I made a tweet on Sunday or on Friday or whenever this chapter came out, just like because I've been kind of like trying, not necessarily looking for it, but I mean, like I can't help but see Gon in this panel. I made a comparison tweet like with just like this panel next to like Gon's like face, like when Pitou says like we can't fight, I have to save Komugi. And Gon's like, that's not fair, bro, because you killed my guy, my human part, like, friend, you know what I'm saying? My loved one, easily, with no thought to it. And then I come here to kill you for that. And you're saying, hold on, wait, we can fight, but I have to take care of this other human, and he like has like a very similar, obviously it's two completely different emotions in those scenes, but just like the aesthetic vibe and like the illustration techniques used to like really make the face look a lot more sketchy than it usually is, just to like show that those emotions are like everywhere, that like the face may be trembling, you know what I mean? Like it's just very similar art used there for that. But wow,
and that dialogue following that,
the narration in this chapter was so fucking chilling, bro. Like,
I am a true curse.
Yeah, well, Yuji Itadori's resolve had reached its limit a long time ago. Like that was a big,
that was a heavy,
that was a big moment too. And then right into Mahito, like, oh, okay, like I'm not giving you a moment.
So exhilarating.
Yeah,
I am a true curse.
Yeah,
and the Black Flash.
So before we talk about the Black Flash, so like the dialogue all throughout this chapter has been literally top tier for every character involved. Like I find my talent to be so exhilarating. It's just like Mahito's having the time of his life in this fight. He's learning more about himself and Yuji in the fight, and that's one thing that Gege does really well, is show growth on both sides of the conflict throughout the conflict. And we were talking about it a lot in the Choso versus Yuji fight, and now obviously here with the Mahito versus Yuji fight, all of this internal monologue and this narrator exposition just like letting us know that there is intense development happening on both sides of the coin here.
What I really like about it is that Gege does a great job of, like, it's almost reminiscent to Gojo, how Gojo felt when he's like unlocking his like next level abilities and shit. And so like that's what Gege does so well, is that most shonen manga, you see these from villains, or you see these from characters, period. Like they get on these fucking highs when they acquire power or whatever, but it's usually like unearned power. Like Gojo and Mahito continue to earn their, well, Gojo's not going to anymore, but you know what I mean? At that time in the fucking flashback, he's unlocking his own abilities and learning more about himself and growing. Yeah. Mahito is just going to grow and grow and grow forever, and it's just like so much better than any kind of, power dumps that like a lot of other shonen, manga give. It's just how it happens just traditionally forever. It's like, okay, you get to drink the sacred water, Goku, and now, whatever, and I just love that it's always development. It's never unearned free power dump. Like it's beautiful,
and it always makes sense, like continuity wise, to like what's been given to us already. So it's like if there is going to be a new concept or a new aspect to a certain concept that we already have introduced into the series, it's never going to be in a moment where it can be misconstrued as an ass-pull. We're going to have gotten some kind of dialogue or some kind of exposition relevant to the power up that's being gotten, like before it's had. And also we're going to, most times we'll get that dialogue or that exposition outside of the moments where it seems like it's coming out of, where it could feel like it's coming out of nowhere. It's like, no, we got this in like a very small conversation here that we thought like wasn't like all that big of a crazy like grandiose scene, and now that we're finally getting this power up in this grandiose scene, we've already talked about this already. You know what I mean? It's not just the new aspect of the concept is introduced at the moment of power up. I feel like that's just not the way you want to do it historically. I feel like that's not as successful coming out of that like Dragon Ball era when we've already seen it already. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
I think Mahito is Gege's favorite character.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about a couple of
Besides
chapters ago.
Gojo.
Yeah. It's just two different ways.
More so than Gojo because
hero and villain, right? Like favorite villain.
You could tell they spent some time on this panel, like
detail.
Specifically in the drawing of Mahito himself.
Yeah.
This is probably the best drawn person I've seen in the manga.
Other than that panel of
Gojo, spread? Yeah, the 2-page spread of the Black Flash.
Gojo when he was like high on death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you're talking about the 2-page spread on
the
page
2-page Black
for
Flash,
the Black Flash. Yeah.
But also the panels after that.
So much detail.
But he's just talking that 2-page spread.
He's talking about like Mahito, like specifically like how well Mahito is drawn.
But every single panel after that with Mahito, like like all these face shots of these new angles of his face we've not seen these before. You know what I mean? Like
perfect.
It just looks so great. But the double spread is obviously phenomenal. Yeah.
Well, the double spread is a mirror shot to Yuji's punch from a divergent fist.
Yes, it is.
He did in like chapter 15-ish or whatever. It's the exact same panel. It's Yuji. It's just switched faces basically. That is Yuji's exact panel.
Yeah, it's like it's literally
15 or something.
Yeah, it's literally a mirror of that panel, and it's just so funny because everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get a fucking Yuji and Nobara team up Black Flash against Mahito in this fight." It's totally setting up to that, and Gege is like, "Word." Cause no.
Yuji's mental state isn't in a position to do Black Flash. Nobara's KO'd. So guess who gives Black Flash? Mahito.
And I love the dialogue on it. Like the sparks of black do not choose who to bless. Okay, so this actually, since it's been a while since the chapter's come out, obviously we spent a little bit more time on the internet before coming into this conversation. So one thing that I noticed is that people were bringing up a potential translation error between this scene and the first scene that Yuji tapped into Black Flash, where there was a similar dialogue narration that had it saying basically the dialogue in the officials basically said like Yuji was chosen by the sparks of black, right? When he first used Black Flash, and then obviously in this chapter it says the sparks of black do not choose who to bless, right?
Oh, sure.
Right. So people are bringing up an issue, potential issue in the translation, and obviously I feel like I'll probably be the first one to complain about a translation situation inside of Jujutsu Kaisen, but inside of this one, I feel like it's not as big of a deal because I feel like the first example of like Yuji tapping into the Black Flash for the first time, I feel like that dialogue there in the narration that says that Yuji was chosen by the sparks of black, I feel like that was a metaphorical like line of dialogue. Like it basically is trying to like add hype to the scene when you have dialogue that suggests that the power is consciously choosing Yuji, but like what's really happening is that he's just so tight in that moment that like he obtained access to such a rare skill, and so like you I don't know, because like tapping into the Black Flash is such a rare occurrence, it makes for like a very poetic and like gripping dialogue that has Gege personifying the Black Flash in a way that suggests the skill must be choosing Yuji, considering the low probability of success, if that makes sense. But in this example, it's like basically saying the technique just isn't biased and anyone can tap into Black Flash if they're tight enough. Like it's a cursed energy thing, not like a specific character, or person or like moral alignment thing. It's just like it's like
another
Nen techniques. You know what I mean?
Well, no, go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like another way to read this is that the sparks of black do not choose who to bless. Emphasis on bless, right? Like, you think blessing, you're thinking like, good people would get this, right? Like, but it's like, bad people can get it too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a blessing that only is reserved for the good or for Jujutsu sorcerers, it's also curses can tap into that too, as you're saying. Just trying to
well, it's all one shared energy
out of the country.
It's all one shared energy. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, if Black Flash is a like a mathematical proof, you know what I mean, and all you need is just like to figure out the equation, and you have access to it. Like anyone who has access to this energy system should be able to solve that equation in the moment if all the stars align. You know what I mean? And it obviously does for Mahito here. So
I just got a question.
That confusing,
When you were seeing this, they showed the panels like previously, and were they from Viz? Like, see, that's the thing. Like when people are referencing shit back to like chapter 50, you assume they were on Jaimini's box or something. Right?
I did assume that, but I went back and actually looked in the Viz. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Because that's the first thing too. It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's a long time ago. This is before people, this is before Manga Stream went down. This is before everything started, kind of like the domino effect of like, illegal scan sites where everybody was literally like shuffled, towards Viz, you know what I'm saying? So like that's the first thing, that I did was go back and double check that. But that is the dialogue there. It says Yuji was chosen by the Sparks of Black, and then now here the Sparks of Black do not choose who to bless. I can definitely understand the confusion there, but I feel like just understanding of Juryoku, a deeper understanding of Juryoku can kind of make more sense to that, if that is a direct translation. That wasn't like any kind of not necessarily a mistake, but just like I chose this word and it just so happened to contradict.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's like it's not a sentient thing where it's just kind of a thing. There's a probability of it happening if you're tight enough. In the moment, it can choose you. The fates can align. You can get blessed by the Sparks of Black, quote unquote. But it's not like a sentient thing that's going to only help out good people. It doesn't choose who to bless.
It's there for you if you can tap into it, no matter who you are. It's there for you to achieve.
That's pretty much it. It's simple enough.
Well, it could be possible too that like it should be taken loosely with Yuji's example and the first time, because it's like, okay, they chose him, which would make sense he just gotta. Well, no, he unlocked this skill that he should not really have been able to unlock, right? Like, because of the time in the story, like his development, like he wasn't born a Jujutsu sorcerer. He just starts eating Sukuna figures and he's thrust into this fucking new Jujutsu world. It's not like he has any fucking like knowledge, like any knowledge he's getting is all on the job training. Like it's not like he's going actually to school and learning about curses. Like you see it like in the anime now. It's like Nobara's like, oh, you didn't even know that? It's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? He don't even know. Like it's like, well, cause he didn't get fucking any basic fucking Juryoku or curse training. Like he's not in the school learning about it actually. It's like he's always got something to do. So like when you unlock something that's like supposed to be extremely high level, you just use it like, okay, he was blessed in this time, but like that's not actually, like an actual, like a blessing, like kind of what Eagle is saying. Like I wouldn't say like sentient, but like a divine, some kind of, maybe fate, whatever. Like that's just not how this works, and that's totally fine.
I think it has a lot to do with just like Yuji's Juryoku flow in general. Like obviously with the Divergent Fist, we know that there's a lag, from the moment of impact of his physical fist and the Juryoku that flows thereafter into the opponent. So like that is kind of explaining how Black Flash works to a certain degree too. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like tweak your curse energy in like 0.0001 seconds in a special way, like after impact, in order to like tap into the Black Flash. I can't remember the exact like definition for it, but it's like a timing thing. It's like a focus and timing thing. So obviously your mental state needs to be in a very serene like position. You obviously have to like be focused enough to be able to like access that timing to begin with, you know what I'm saying? So like,
and even if you do all that perfectly, this shit still might not happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like
literally.
Yeah, so it's literally just like I don't know, like we've seen it in like video games. Like you perfectly line up the the crosshair on the on the ball on the T-ball or whatever. On like Pummel Party or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like
I was thinking of Titus's Overdrive.
Titus's Overdrive. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like kicking the fucking like special teams kick on fucking in Madden and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you just found the perfect spot.
Hit your free throws. Everything.
Wind scar. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of shit is like similar. Type shit. You know what I mean? So naturally, if it's a shared energy system, anyone's going to be able to tap into that if they meet the requirements. So I think that that's really fucking cool.
This speech.
Yes, bro.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
Like this man spitting.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mahito also at the very beginning, like, you know, I bet you thought you were going to do some pest control. You're going to go on a little, fun time. You're going to kill some spirits or whatever. That is, like, I think exactly what Yuji thought, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I'm going to get in there and clean up, right? It's like,
well, and it's
come on.
Like, oh, no, this shit ain't sweet, bro. Just because you're the main character don't mean shit in this fucking story, bro.
Mahito knows how much Yuji's resolve has been broken, and he's just fucking twisting a dagger in him. He's just twisting it. It's like, I'm about to break your shit more. I'm going to break your resolve even more than it already is.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we do it. This is war, basically, and that's the rest of his fucking dialogue is all there. Like, this is basically a clash of ideals, you know?
Yeah.
Whoever wins this fucking fight is right, basically. Might is right, like all history. Whoever wins tells the fucking history, basically.
Exactly.
So,
the strong decide the laws. The strong, you know,
Yes.
whoever wins decides what's, you know, punishable, what offenses are punishable, what's good, what's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you know, like everyone has their own moral compass, and like no one's going to agree that murder is okay, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if the person who's in charge says that it is, then after X amount of time of that person being in charge, that's going to be the normal outlook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So that's I love the philosophy, you know, inside of this speech. I love how inside of, you know, Mahito's character, he's basically saying like exactly what Kiko's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like what's right. We're fighting to decide that right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you're so right because you have so many people agreeing with you. You grew up in a way that, you know, you probably like got like, you know, the golden rule, like do unto others. You have all this stuff taught to you. It's like, I didn't get any of that. I'm literally a curse that was born from the malice of your entire species and the fear that your species shares for one another. I did not go to a school. I was not brought up in any kind of religious household that taught me, you know what I'm saying, thou shalt not this, that, and the third. This is just a clashing of ideals, like you were saying. It's just two characters who have certain goals, certain outlooks that just so happen to be in a conflict right now. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of like was going into like the motivations, you know, that I kind of like talk about, like when it comes to like goated villains, especially inside of like shonen storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, does the villain have motivations or dialogue or behave in a way that challenges the outlook of either the main character or the reader? If both, great. And like if Yuji sits here and goes, hold on, this motherfucker is spitting, then like that's the kind of internal like character conflict that I feel like is very important inside of the genre right now. But I mean, like, even if Yuji's resolve is never like shaken and he completely decides in his own mind that he knows what the right thing to do is and nothing Mahito says to him could ever sway that. If me, the reader, is sitting here going, hold on, this motherfucker Mahito's kind of making sense right now, then like that's a really big deal still too. So
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was huge dialogue, and man.
Yes, sir.
Even bigger, it seems. Oh, that clap.
The clap, bro.
Had me like literally like, I can't even say what I want to say because it's just too graphic. But that panel, bro, had me just on bliss, bro.
Hell yeah! And I want to talk a little bit about this like poetry that Todo is spitting. You know what I mean? So like,
because we know who it comes from, right?
Yeah. This is a actual poem from a story, The Tale of the Heike, and it was like from around their year 1300, whatever. But like the entire, you know, this is the opening line of this like book or play or whatever, right? And it's talking about impermanence, right? So I absolutely love this because, you know, this is just perfectly encapsulating Todo's, I think, you know, attitude, you know. But it's like he's saying the opening line, the sound of the Gion Shoja bells echoes the impermanence of all things. The color of the Sala flowers reveals the truth that the prosperous must decline. It's talking about that decline, destruction, losing someday is inevitable. But he's like, no, we are the exception. I'm like,
you are the exception.
Taking off the jacket with like the fucking calm ass, I'm about to handle this motherfucker face on.
What's up, Shiloh?
He said, let me go ahead and handle this. And it's like, man, it's like Todo, man. It's like everyone's like Todo. And Kiko was like, what if Todo gets one shot or whatever? And it's like, sure.
Obviously, I'm trolling.
I know.
Yeah.
But when you said that, it made me think about it. It made me think about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that possibility is still there, even though obviously the scene kind of implies that Toto's going to come in here and put work in.
Not one shot. He could lose, but not one shot.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Not necessarily one shot, but like Toto could get whooped here. But like at the same time, it's like you remember like Toto's been talked up like heavy. Obviously, we've seen him in combat and know that he's not to be trifled with, but we also like have like war stories of his like talked about from feats, younger kids. Like he what did he do? He fought like 5 or 10 grade 1 curses by himself without even using his curse technique. Yeah, and like 1v5 first grade curses. Like that's a big
isn't he the only student who has soloed a special grade by himself?
Yeah.
I also feel like when Yuji's fighting Mahito, obviously Mahito knows that Yuji's a hard counter to his ability because he can't do the transfiguration or whatever, and he's like, oh shit, Kugisaki also a hard counter to me because like she can use resonance or whatever. I feel like Todo is not necessarily like a hard counter, but I feel like he's like if not a hard counter, like one step down, because think of all the times where like Mahito splits, okay, boom, I'll just flip you around. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. And also, when Mahito is stretching out, you know what I mean? Like stretching in a direction or like being all... His attacks are so directional, you know what I mean? That if he gets flipped with anything, it's going to really throw him off
his entire
you know what I mean?
Style.
So, this is something that we got to talk about too, is Todo cannot use Boogie Woogie on something that doesn't have Juryoku. He can't use inanimate objects to flip. It's not like Shambles. He can't, it's not Shambles.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's right. But he is recurse tools because they have
because they have Juryoku. It's the only way reason he could do it with Playful Cloud. Yeah, exactly. Right. So you got to think like, and maybe that's why we got little Nita here, Akari's little brother, right? Like, maybe like he has some other, because he's obviously got healing abilities, but maybe there's something else that he can do, because you think of like reverse Jujushiki, I don't know, like maybe he can like imbue fucking little fucking pebbles and shit with fucking Juryoku, just enough to let Boogie Woogie will be effective, but with like a Shambles, like something that's gonna make it
or his necklace. So people are like, oh, what's this necklace? What if the necklace is nothing more than it just has cursed energy in it? It's just the simple artifact has energy
thing that he can have on him to help, help
his movement speed.
Give him one thing off jump to switch around with.
Throws the Jesus piece and switches to it. It's not Jesus, but
Oh, it's like that dude's quirk in like the UALA fan like movie that they made for like My Hero Academia, the black dude who can like trade places with his backpack by like throwing his backpack. You guys remember that video? I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but it's a super like high like quality where it's not animated. It's not animated. It's live action. Yeah.
I remember.
It's got Zero from like holes in it and shit, like all grown up or whatever as like the villain. But it's a fucking black dude with a fade that like has the backpack. The backpack's got a pin on it, and like his pin's like. His quirk, basically, he can switch places with that pin or teleport to the pin whenever, but it's on the backpack. So when he fights, he fucking throws the backpack and then teleports to it and like knocks you out. Yeah. It's like shit, could be shit like that with like Todo. With this necklace.
Well, shit. But the Nita, Arata says Kugisaki.
She's
gone.
Probably dead, which means she's not dead.
She's not dead at all. Yeah.
No way.
She's gonna be missing that eye though.
For sure. Eye patch no bar is gonna slap though.
I mean,
you ain't gonna wear the eye patch.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, she's
about to have the scar out. Like
but like just like a hole in the eye. I doubt she'll want that.
You get a fake eye, I guess.
Yeah, you can get a fake eye, but I doubt she'll want a just gaping hole in her face. Like she cares.
She don't care about this beauty shit.
Yeah, she does.
Yes, she does.
That's like a whole thing.
She's about to.
She could change the game and revolutionize it and just like own it or whatever and just like show that change in her character. But based on what we know about her so far, we have pretty good reason to believe that she'd want to
watch the ending. There. Watch the ending of the new anime where she comes out with fucking 10 shopping bags dancing.
That shit is fire.
Yeah, that shit's super fire. Yeah. But man, what is this next chapter going to be? I'm going in next week blind. So that if
no, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. No, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass because I want to start reacting to this shit too. So never know.
Tell people you're lying again.
He's lying his ass
I'm gonna try. If I can do it,
right.
then we'll
He's got alts in the Discord. He's gonna be finding the links.
Let me try, damn it.
No, yeah, I hope you do. And you have done it a couple of times. You said it, and I know you did it a couple of times.
I have done it a couple of times. It's just hard.
We gotta give you a little shit, because you're the one that has the least fucking resolve to wait.
Bro, I'm looking at all day 1 spoilers, day 2
it ain't
spoilers,
hard.
raws.
I know, and then you try to say, I want to talk to you about Zoro opening his eye. Get the fuck out of here. It never happened.
I remember the days where I was really going through it, where the entire manga chat was still reading the scans, and I was the only one waiting for the officials.
Yeah, and we were clowning you. We were clowning you for that, too.
Literally, they made it a point not to talk with me about shit. Like, I'd come in there saying shit after I read the chapters, and none of them would say shit.
We'd be like,
we already talked about it.
So the fuck what?
That's the system. That's the it's I'm gonna wait for
I'm gonna conversation 500 times a night at con drunk. Talk to me again about the fucking chapter, you fucking dick. Let's move on.
I just want to make you feel bad for not reading scans. I'll talk to you about it no matter what.
I'm not talking to you. I wasn't calling Noxie specific.
No, I know. I'm just saying how I probably felt back then was probably just like, should have read the scans, bitch. I ain't talking to you about shit. Anyway.
Man, Chainsaw Man.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Are you? Are you? I think I'm good.
I'm good too.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
We've had a surprising amount of fun for how obviously the Toto, but this chapter is really not that much fun until the clap. The clap. I was very depressed reading this. We had a good enough amount of fun here. Thank you, Toto. Thank you. Toto, we needed it desperately. We just needed it.
Yo.
Yeah, that clap was drastic, bro.
Toto's beating his ass. I know I was trolling, but Toto's beating his ass.
Toto's about to serve dude, fam.
Hell yeah. I can't wait.
With a viciousness that we haven't seen yet, bro.
But he is getting Yuji back up. Yuji's about to participate. Get up, brother. Let's go. He's about to fucking, boom, and shock his fucking resolve back into this shit. He's about to fix Yuji, get Yuji back up and running too. That's gonna be so hype to see Yuji do his stomp again. If I don't know if he'll do the stomp again, but
we might get the stomp though. Yeah.
Not again. We're feasting, bro.
We are feasting, bro. We got the boogie woogie,
dude. I can't believe we actually called that fucking scene.
I know that.
I mean, a lot of people probably did, but we have been.
No, hell no.
We have been saying that for.
We were there day
20 weeks.
Day 1, we were there.
Yeah,
as soon as the Yuji and Choso fight started.
Bitch. Yeah, we were literally saying Yuji's gonna be in a hairy situation. All you're gonna hear is the boogie woogie.
Boogie woogie.
You didn't even get the boogie woogie. You just
got the clap. He didn't even say shit.
That was enough.
Yeah, no, and honestly, this poem is better than the boogie woogie. The clap and this poem hits way harder than the boogie woogie and some get up, brother. Like, nah, hell no, this shit slap.
Get up, brother.
Now that you mentioned the poem one more time, just a one quick thing is
name of the crop.
But just one more thing about the poem, and just Toto's character in general, is that it's just he's a masterfully done character too, and Gege's so good with all his characters because it's like you were led to believe that Toto was going to be the biggest douchebag meathead and just beat Megumi up because Megumi was boring to him, and okay, what type of girl you like? Oh, we don't like same type of girl. We got hands. It's like that's so dumb, but then you start to see him grow, and he is very fucking poetic. Like he loves poetry. Like it's like he's a deep character. And I can't wait to explore him more. I hope we get other things other than. Yeah. He says some deep shit, obviously, but I just want him to get a little bit more than just ass whooping here. I want to see a little bit more into the psyche of Toto, which I'm sure we'll get.
I want to go further into that flashback with him and Yuki when they met. You know what I'm saying? When he was when he was a little dude, when he was a shorty. Mm-hmm. I want to see.
With the kind of shit Mahito's talking about, Toto will have some shit to say about it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, their exchange is gonna be some shit because Mahito's gonna exactly. Mahito's gonna get back in his nihilistic human suck bag, and then Toto's gonna hit him with some super uplifting, wholesome resolve and morale boosting dialogue and shit.
Yeah.
And like, it's going to be a
Toto
perfect
gonna be like
dichotomizing conversation.
Mahito gonna be sweating. He gonna be like, "Oh, how you feel now? You losing the war, bitch. You was talking that shit. Now look, you sweating."
I decide what's right because I'm beating that ass.
Yo,
and what's right is tall women with big butts. That's gonna be the new law.
Toto's just a walking morale boost, obviously, and like he's been for the whole story. And I mean, obviously not when he was first introduced, which was so great to see that like is who he was, and it's just so, man, it's a morale boost for the reader too, which is just so amazing. It's like we needed the morale boost so bad in this arc right now. Like, So yes, this
was the perfect moment for Toto to come in. This hits harder than him coming in for Choso.
Yes.
Even though if he came in for Choso, we would have probably gotten more action out of him by the end of the arc since he's been here the whole time, but he also could have just got whooped. And that would have sucked. But yeah, I'm good.
Yes, we can move on.
We're talking too much about Toto, man. We're
there's no such thing.
Dude, there's no such thing. And two, we haven't seen this motherfucker since like chapter 40. So, long, we're gonna talk about him. So
I'm trying to get a Toto spin-off, bro.
Ooh,
I'd read that.
I would read.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna shit. I'll read a Miwa spinoff at this point. Get murdered, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Just inject it on an IV.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Well, then with that, I think we can probably go ahead and move right into chapter 89 of Chainsaw Man. Go get him, Chainsaw Man.
Man, go get him.
So is Kobeni going to challenge Makima to a game of DDR, beat her, and then the story's over and she wins? She now has control?
Yo, imagine if that's the final fight of Chainsaw Man. It's Kobeni versus Makima in DDR.
This was really Kobeni's training arc, right? Like, this is really...
Oh, my God. Dude, I love this chapter. Was
like
so cool.
Crazy, but like,
it's crazy, but like very weirdly composed.
Mm-hmm.
But
y'all ready for coochie chains? You saw that? Nox has seen it on Twitter. There's some guys like, ooh, Nox, they're coochie chains. I think I'm gonna have to pick up Chainsaw Man. It's like, man, come on, man.
We don't want you for coochie chain love, bro.
This ain't Gucci Mane. Coochie chain, no.
Gucci chain.
Gucci chain LaFleur.
So
that's from the womb.
Exactly. That's what
absolutely.
I'm exactly.
Yeah,
that was my whole Twitter post was about like just watch us. How about if you know?
Yeah, if you think these are coochie chains, then you'll be surprised to know that we already called these womb chains, and that sounds way better. Read for womb chains instead of coochie chains. 2020.
Womb.
So Makima mentions that she's been killed now 26 times by Chainsaw Man, and she says, "Why is it that you won't eat me? Is my body that unappetizing to you? Do any of y'all have like an idea? Does that question mean anything more than a simple question, or like is there a reason that Chainsaw Man does not eat Makima?
I don't know why it could be that, because I see the side profile of her on page 6 with this thing poking out. I don't know if that unappetizing is the word I'd use, because that's looking scrumptious to a motherfucker like me. You know what I'm saying? Licking my schmackers to this one right here.
Nox likes the 2D girls.
Step on me, Makima.
Actually, is it?
But anyone?
I'm simping. Okay, I'm there.
We know.
I said it.
Yeah.
Ready to be stepped on at a moment's notice. But yeah, I don't know if that holds any kind of like actual. I never even thought about it until you brought it up. But that is a really interesting question though. Then because like now I'm wondering why he isn't eating her. You know what I'm saying? Is he not eating her because he's still Denji and he like still like likes?
Well,
Makima?
no, because even before he was Denji, the previous 25 times he killed her, didn't eat her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to like, because I would just assume that Chainsaw Man. I mean, and not this time in particular, because it's like Pochita, but like I don't know, maybe it's always been Pochita, like in other iterations that just decided not to eat her. But I just think you would know, like there's if I just think if Chainsaw Man actually attempts to eat her, it's not going to go that way, right? Like this is what Makima wants, right? So like it's just she's trying to do the reverse psychology on him, and obviously it doesn't work when he's in like Puchita form, but like I wouldn't think. But
so wait, Eagle, you said even when I said that like maybe he's not eating her because Denji doesn't want to eat her because he still like likes her or whatever, and you said even before that. What do you mean?
He's killed her 25 times previously.
Yeah, right. Besides, including the death a few moments ago. So when I read that, I was thinking that like since they started fighting,
maybe this time that could be the reasoning. Yeah.
Oh, well, I took that as like historically, like
yeah. And now I'm thinking, now I'm thinking about that too. But initially, when I first read it, I assumed that there were just off-screen. Maimings of Makima going on throughout the course of this current conflict. And she's just saying, like, since we started fighting, excluding the death a few moments ago, or including the death a few moments ago, I've been killed a total of 26 times. I thought that was all in this current conflict, but if it is historically,
I guess that's a good question because I assumed it was like historically, like Nick did, but that is a good point. I suppose there could have been 25 off-screen deaths within this fight that we didn't
because he's killed her like 3 times on screen. So like I don't know, Fujimoto handles cinematic time so awkwardly in this series that it's really hard to tell. What do you mean?
Because like she got chopped in half the one time in front of Kishibe.
Yep.
Yeah, there's one.
And then she
just got rocked again, like one chapter ago, 2 chapters ago, 1 chapter ago.
Yeah, so maybe 2 then. Maybe 2 or 3. Maybe there's another one missing in there But either way, it's been a couple times this arc, or this fight already. So I just assumed that she went like in this fight. Now, if it is in this fight, if it is 26 times in this fight, then the reason why he's not eating her could be because Denji's like, no, Makima, you know what I mean? But if it is historically... then that obviously raises more questions. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Pochita can smell her, right? She smell rotten. I don't want to eat that. I don't. But I just think it's more of this has been Makima's goal to be eaten, and maybe something Chainsaw Man knows, like Pochita knows, or something that I can't. If I eat her, it's not because it's like, what if control is gone, right? Like that's the big question. Like if Chainsaw Man were to eat the control devil and control is no longer in the world, like there's just anarchy, war, people just killing each other all over the place. Like there's just no order in the
sounds
like the
opposite of what she's been saying she wants from the world. So it's like, why would she want to be eaten if she knows that that's what would happen if she was?
I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say that like this is something within the narrative that like we have no idea about yet, and that it might even be some like twisted like Chainsaw Man type Romeo and Juliet, like 7 Deadly Sins-esque, like Elizabeth Meliodas type ancient curse, or like fated, like these are 2 beings that are like tied together through time to have some twisted fucking fucked up relationship where
I kind of agree with you.
I can't exactly say what I mean specifically, but I think it's something we have no idea about the details of yet that is really twisted, that these 2 are tied together in some way through time.
I totally agree with you.
I just wish that we could see Makima looking like disgruntled or like struggling in some kind of way, because like it looks like things are not going the way that she wants, but she still has this like really calm look on her face, and it makes me think that the conflict isn't anywhere near over. And if it's not, I mean, that's fine. Go ahead and keep telling stories, Fujimoto. Keep feeding me everything that you have to give me. But I just want to see Makima with a different expression on her dumbass face already, bro. Like, look worried, look upset one time, and let me know that like maybe something good can come from this eventually. But like, you are just so confident that it's like
annoyed. I mean, annoyed is something different than she has been, but she's never been distraught in any way.
Right? Physically, like externally, like she just stays the same composure no matter what happens. And it's like, I want to know that we're making progress on this Makima situation at some point. If she dies with this same expression on her fucking face, like for good, I'm not going to say I'm going to be mad, but it's like, I want her to look, she's done too much to go out smiling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, please look pissed one time before you go.
Well, and the last page, I mean, the last page is all of it. Like, she definitely does have a different look.
I guess she is. She's sighing here, and she does.
Yeah.
Look like
she's annoyed with.
She's annoyed and a little pissed off or something, but like just a little bit. But yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So what the fuck is up with this cosmic fucking spear?
Like, I don't know, but this is a beautiful fucking.
That's true, Lancelogynous. Two Lancelogynuses in a row. That's
When Eagle, when you were doing your live reading, Schnooty and I were talking in the chat or whatever, and Schnooty brought up, like Lancelogynous. I think it's like, you know, pretty straightforward to like make that connection, given that like the people next to the spear like are in the crucifix position.
Yeah, they're crucified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, definitely this time for sure.
Yeah. We have angel, devil, we have crucifixes, we have hell. It makes sense that like Lance Longinus, the lance that, you know, Jesus was speared with or whatever, like it's not an Evangelion reference, it's a biblical reference, right?
It's a biblical reference.
Yeah. So like I think it makes a lot of sense. It looks fucking tight.
Yeah,
spear.
Super sick. Super fucking sick. With these two bodies.
It's crazy that it's coming from like, you know, the cosmos,
the vacuum
like
of space. Yeah.
It's just wild, and it's
it's just weird because like the spear,
how did he tank it?
Form?
Yeah, it does have a physical form when it hits him.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like a beam of light coming out of this black hole.
Right.
So I don't mean tank it as in he
sustained.
Sustained it, but he chose to get hit with it, right? And he's still alive. He's not out. Like there's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously the reason why is
who was saying that?
Well, no, go ahead, Eagle. What are you asking?
I was just wondering who said he didn't choose to get hit with it. Like he
didn't. That's not what Noxie said. That's not what Noxie. I said I used the wrong term. I should have said tank.
Okay.
No. I said Chainsaw
said,
Man.
why did he tank it? And I said, I don't think he tanked it because he's fucked up here. And then Kiko said, not tank as in sustain, tank as in why did he choose to take the hit in the first place?
Oh yeah, like because Kobeni was going to get eviscerated.
Well, and I wasn't asking why. I was but regardless,
or whatever,
but regardless,
you said how did he tank it?
Well, how? Okay, because it's just like it looks like such a ominous, super fucking powerful attack. We've never seen anything with usage of 1,000 years, and it's wild that she can use 1,000 years. Like, what does that even mean? Like, Angel Devil was constantly using like 5 years and shit. And
isn't that why all these public safety people are chained to her, so she can like directly access their lifespan? With this ability, that's kind of what I took.
Or directly access their devil contract abilities.
No, I get that, but like the whole thing, you know what I mean? Like Kiko just said, like why can she just use 1,000 years? Boom! It's like,
because she has control.
She had 1,000 years of people right there.
Well, not only that.
Question that I want to ask: does she have now like? I don't know. Does she have her own, or does she only have access to like the reservoir of years that Angel had?
That's what I was.
That's the thing. That's the thing is that Angel has a reservoir of years. Even if he was dead, he might have 1,000 years stocked up. But I agree with Nickums at least because obviously these fucking 10 people don't have 1,000 years. I mean, I guess 10 people technically if they live to, but no, they're already middle-aged people. So no matter
it's
what,
it's like 20, 30 people. It's a lot of people.
Really? Is it? Is that?
It's like 20 people.
It's a gang of motherfuckers, bro. Like. And it gets cut off, and we can't even see the end.
Yeah, you're right. They're definitely.
And there are chains actually going further back off the panel.
But
I don't think
they're going to connect on the belly. Those people have to be standing a good ways back out of the panel.
Yeah, I don't think that
based on the angle they're going out.
Yeah, I don't think that Makima is using their lives here to get the 1,000 because. No. I feel like she would rather keep these people shackled and have access to their devil contract abilities if she needs, rather than sacrificing. If they have devil contract. These are all devil hunters. I can
prove that they do. Yeah, I can prove that they do.
Can build up more years, though. I think she can build up more years.
I think she's using Angel's years.
I think she's using Angel's pool of years.
I think he's got a lot stocked up. Yeah, she's probably using his, but she look at this page 3. Continue to stock him up. You know.
Page 3.
Yeah, page 3.
Page 3. Makima's sitting on the fucking railing there, looking down at the guy who's already dead. Chainsaw Man already killed him, who is a devil hunter, and she's resurrecting him. Look, he's getting up, and he's the one who's in the front of the chains.
That's right.
That's the first one. So this is Makima accessing their devil contracts for sure, and not using their usage. Yeah, I highly doubt it.
I guess. You very well could be right. I don't think what you're saying is definitive.
It's not definitive.
She picks up a dude. We don't even know that he had a devil contract.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
I guess
we know that he's a devil hunter because he was sent to fight Chainsaw Man.
You don't need a devil hunter contract to be a devil hunter.
I mean, you don't, but like, why would like a devil hunter without a contract be sent to go fight this threat?
He didn't. He just heard it on the radio and said, "Oh, I'm in the area. I'm gonna go fuck this thing up."
Oh, he said he heard about it. Okay,
but like, he said still, good thing I just like stumbled around here. Like,
true. Okay.
And so it very well could be she literally had 980 years saved up, and it's like, aha, great. With this one, it's settled. I have 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
Either way.
Yeah. That's true. But it's just so Angel had to physically touch you to take your years, right? Mm-hmm. So like that, it's just, it would be a way different application.
Yeah, that's true too, though.
Angel had to physically touch you to take your years, and so her connecting these people to chains. I mean, we've only seen her do this to people she was taking their devil contracts. So it's just I think it's more likely. I mean, especially because obviously the lance comes out of because he said 1,000 years. It's clear that it's Angel's ability, but it still comes out of the fucking halo of fucking intestines.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But no, I mean, and I was bringing up this whole point originally because it's a fucking beam of light from fucking space. And obviously we see the physical fucking lance being pulled out.
Right. Yeah.
But she's like holding the lance, which is so weird. The lance is almost like a magic wand. I don't know. What am I trying to say? Like it's
sure.
Like it's not. She's actually throwing a physical lance at it. It's just there to
represent the attack that she's about
represent
to
the attack. But then he is speared with the actual lance at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to wrap my head around. It's like, okay, I'm shooting this beam of light that is the lance, but when you see it, I mean, obviously it's coming from space, and she's just pointing down. She no longer has the lance in her hand when she's up there. She's just pointing downward. So.
Right.
So maybe the physical lance is there because that's what's actually being used to attack, but the actual like vehicle for the attack is like this energy passage coming from the vacuum of space that like manifests in the form of this beam of light, which probably is used to like represent the speed of the lance. I would maybe assume, I don't know. I have no idea why after pulling the lance out of this intestinal halo, we then get a shot of the lance being shot through of like a dimensional rift, coming with a beam of light coming from the vacuum of space. But I feel like
that's where now I'm like, okay, going off y'all's idea of all these like 25 people she has on her, there's all devil contracts she's accessing. Maybe she's accessing like the space devil, and
multiple devil contracts for the
light
attack,
devil. You know what I mean? Like you just some sort of combo attack where like she uses Angel's ability, she gets the Lance of Longinus, then she uses other devil techniques to launch it at him, right? So the lance is the attack, but like the throw is like some complicated devil, multi-attack or whatever.
It's like, the fucking end of the Power Rangers episode when they all fucking come together and combo attack and combine all their weapons and shit. I can see that.
Fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But why he's crumbled into this pile of fucking like it looks like he's out, which is we got to talk about it because this is what Fujimoto has done so masterfully, is a subversion of the shonen trope. People cheering for you makes you stronger. People cheering for Chainsaw Man makes him weaker. Like, and Makima's obviously been orchestrating this whole thing. He just needs fucking Chainsaw Man to do these.
Something I feel like recently on a couple shows ago, y'all were saying like. Y'all were speculating on whether Makima had been planning some aspect of something from the beginning.
Sure.
It's just like,
she's
been braining this shit from the beginning of the story.
Just
definitely. Like planned on weakening him by sending him on these missions.
To get people to fall in love with him.
This chapter is definitely like confirming that this whole manga has been a big brain play against Chainsaw Man for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just really great to see like Kobeni just being like, I ain't got shit to do with this. Let me get out of here. I'm just kidding. Let me go. Bye. See you later.
She's like, but no. You do.
Yeah.
You don't fear Chainsaw Man anymore. Now you're helping weaken him. Thank you. Basically.
Well, and I almost got the vibe from that as if like I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, what does Kobeni really have to do with this? Like, what does she really have to do? Because she's more important. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she is more important, but I do think that like Makima's statement is more. Maybe Makima doesn't necessarily know how important Kobeni is to the situation, but Makima's just saying like, right, Kobeni, like you're not as afraid as you were, and it's kind of just setting up, proving her point that like. Chainsaw Man's power is about to weaken because like all these people in the world actually don't fear him that much or whatever.
Yeah,
so she's just saying like you're the perfect example of my plan. Like you're not afraid of him anymore.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you that I do think she is important, for later.
Yeah, she's definitely meant to like be seen as kind of like a gaggier, like comic relief character, like in these moments right now. But like obviously, considering how well we know Fujimoto's storytelling at this point, obviously we can't predict a single thing this motherfucker wants to do. He could literally end the manga next chapter, you know what I'm saying? And like that would be totally along the lines of like what we think he's capable of as an author, but like he we wouldn't put it past him to do something crazy like that if he decided to do it. But the reason why I'm saying that is because like obviously Kobeni is like been shown as like the comedy factor in this arc so far. But like this is just more evidence that's going to link with previous encounters with Kobeni's character in the series. That's all going to culminate into like this grandiose reveal of like Kobeni's role in the bigger picture in this series, and it's going to be so crazy when we finally get that.
I mean, I was saying it even a couple of weeks ago. Like, I truly believe she's going to be like a linchpin to like this whole how Makima is toppled. I still truly believe, I was saying this before, like I didn't have a great word for it, but like she's basically Fuko is what I believe. I think she's unluck devil, misfortune devil. Like it's manifested obviously a lot different than how Fuko's does, but like I think that's
Fuko's is like bad luck to you. Kobeni is like good luck to me, so she's more of like a domino.
I don't think so. I think it's both. I think it's both. I think
fate in general. Yeah.
I think her storing her bad luck up helps her to give her good luck when it really, really needs it. But I think she can also impart bad luck on other people inadvertently, maybe. I don't know if it has to be like targeted or how it really works. Obviously there's no way we could know how it works, but I just really truly believe that's like a clear counter to control, right? Like the misfortune, like that. You don't know the unexpected could happen at any time, like, and I was just telling you guys earlier, my wife's watching Hunter again, and it's like, so I'm Killua talking about like, okay, in my profession, I sit here and wait and I watch people, and guess what? The fucking unexpected happens way more often than you'll expect. On the day that I choose to kill somebody, the unexpected happened more often than not. And like, and it's just really, really, it'd just be a great, and I wouldn't think that the misfortune would totally counter her, and like Kobeni can somehow just beat Makima, obviously, like
straight up in a 1v1, no, anything that comes towards Kobeni just gets like reared to the side because of good luck, and then like anything Kobeni wants to do against Makima, the bad luck like puts her in Kobeni's way and like gives a direct hit or some shit. It's never gonna happen like that.
I feel like when Denji made the contract, unintentionally, unofficially, whatever, with Pochita, it was a very give and take thing, right? Like, I'll be your heart, you show me your dreams, right? Like, there does seem to be, in at least some cases, a give and take with this contract stuff, right? Like Aki, right? Like a future devil, like I will let you see the future, but you're gonna let me live in your eye so I can see the future, right? I feel like Kobeni's ability, her contract with the luck devil could be, Kobeni, you're never going to die of anything but old age, right? You will definitely die of old age when you're 90, but your life is going to be a hell of ups and downs of good luck and bad luck, and you can direct that. Maybe she can't even direct it. Maybe it's just like whatever situation she's in. If bad guys or good guys need to get swatted because it's going to hurt Kobeni, they do, right? Like, but she still gets like terrible luck sometimes.
Maybe it's
but she's never going to die.
Maybe it's relative to like what she's doing with her life. You know what I'm saying? She's a devil hunter, so obviously, you know what I'm saying, bad things are trying to happen to you in this profession, but like because of your devil contract of luck, you're staying alive throughout all the things that should have killed you in this profession. So that's why your life sucks, because all these shitty things seem to be happening to you but not killing you, because your devil contract is preventing you from biting the bullet in these situations. But like if she was just like decided to be a regular person, life probably wouldn't suck that bad, because she's not in a profession that attracts negativity. You know what I mean? Yep.
So I do have a big a theory about the last panel of the chapter.
I was going to talk about it too, but go ahead.
I did want to
so here's my thoughts, right? Here's my thoughts. So like this is just more people, you know what I mean, like cheering for Chainsaw Man, but like before in the chapter everyone's like Chainsaw Man hearts with a sign, Chainsaw Man and hearts, and everyone's like, yeah, Chainsaw Man, yeah. And of course now we have our hero Chainsaw Man. He's he's weakened, he's bleeding, he's dying, and Makima is just like sighing, and she's winning, and it's like, what the hell's gonna happen? I feel like this last panel of people with literal chainsaws, and like we have a Jason mask, and we have like a Halloween mask, Chainsaw Massacre,
it's Leatherface,
Leatherface for sure.
Leatherface, like these people are literally gonna start killing people, or maybe organizing to kill devils, and all of a sudden this like
fear of the chainsaw is going to respark.
The fear is gonna spike immensely. Like all of a sudden, all these people are just gonna be like, "Oh, this is good." People, and then all of a sudden, boom, Chainsaw Man's just gonna get up, and that's gonna be
exactly how it's going to happen, bro.
Right?
Sounds right. Yep.
I
agree.
Don't even want to throw my thoughts on the last panel out anymore because I feel like that's so perfect.
They just start hacking people up.
Yeah, be like, word. Oh, okay, so wait, us liking Chainsaw Man is weakening him. Wait, you're telling us rooting for Chainsaw is got him fucked up right now? All right, bet. Well, if we have to fear Chainsaw Man in order for him to be strong, then.
Especially since this stuff is all being broadcasted. Like that's the key. Is that okay? Oh my God, Chainsaw's great. He helped me on the train, whatever. And that person just gets on TV. Yeah. It's like, and then you got the fucking newscaster guy who's actually in the booth, you know. And who knows? It'd be crazy if some fucking like just a cameraman came out, just chainsawed the fucking anchor that's on TV and just
the camera.
Shit's going just crazy for some reason, which is hard to say. But yeah, like I don't know, some kind of reversal of the ability.
A news broadcasted Chainsaw Rampage is going to give the fear of Chainsaw throughout the globe, and you're literally gonna see Chainsaw like, you know what I'm saying? No blood, just fear.
Especially since,
or maybe he'll drink blood too. But
it's always been like there's been juxtaposition on Chainsaw Man's like position, right? Like it's like devils fear you. You are the hero, basically. Like you are the hero devil, really. And that's what I was, you were saying that was one of my theories before. So it's like it's so crazy. It's like, okay, you're the hero devil, and that's great for all these devils to fear you, which I would assume that gives you more power than the humans praising you, but I guess not. Whatever. At least not right now.
Not now. Yeah.
But like, okay, you've been the hero, and now the hero that is working against you because of how devils work. You have to have that fear there. So it's just like kind of bouncing back and forth. I feel like it's going to bounce back and forth. This blurred line of a hero, because he is a hero, but being a hero is weakening him. It's crazy. I can't wait to see how that plays out, because like exactly how Nick, it's just exactly the same thing you're talking. It's just like these people just got to start hacking people up. What are you doing with a chainsaw out in the fucking crowd of people? Anyway, two of you guys.
That's the only way.
More.
Yeah,
we're celebrating chainsaws, baby.
Yeah. Well, and they all have their hands up like this, and you can't see the but like I could easily have a chainsaw in my hand right now above the camera, right? Like so, like all these people have their hands up. They could all have chainsaws in their hand, and we don't know. Yeah. So.
Woo! Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
I'm ready to see. That's definitely the next chapter. I promise you.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And lining up with Halloween, because next week is the closest week to Halloween we are going to have.
For a jump?
For a jump, yeah, because it's the 25th, right? 25th is the next day we get chapters?
Damn.
I think so, yeah.
What is time? Holy shit, how are we already fucking almost done? Well, not even already almost done with this year, because this year's been a decade long, bro. Like,
But then November 1st. So it's October 25th, then November 1st. So November 1st is technically closer, but but it's November now. Halloween, but October is now over. So
I know y'all saw that meme that was like only 3 months left of 2020, and it was like those 3 months, and it was the Royal Guard. It was
it was Poof and Yuppie and Pinto was October, November, and December.
Down and shit like y'all ain't ready for this shit.
Oh my God.
No.
Alrighty then, with that, I think we can go ahead and get right into chapter 35 of Mashle, Mosh Burn Dead, and the Victory Celebration.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it a stack.
Just them cheers.
Abel's backstory with his mom was pretty good.
Okay, yeah. So like, one thing I want to say is I don't know how I feel about this chapter, and we're going to talk about it, and you guys will probably you guys will probably either agree or disagree.
No.
But
I already agree.
But like this chapter compositionally felt like, okay, so like it obviously starts off with his backstory. We get the pathos for Abel, and it's like, okay, now we knew that was coming. Right. But then, like, I don't know how I feel about the aspect of, like, okay, he gets the fucking, like, body slam last chapter. And, like, I wasn't expecting that to be the end of the fight entirely, because obviously I have a whole theory around that body not even being real. So, like, I'm thinking that we're going to see something about that this chapter, and then we get this background, and then it's just, okay, the fight is over, and everyone is celebrating about it. They're having the after-fight conversation, and it's like, okay, so you get body slammed, the fight is over, but your body just got back up and doesn't look like it's in any danger at all. So, like, what did you lose? So, like, you have just decided that after you took that damage that there's no other reason to continue fighting, even though this is clearly not your body, bro. Like, this is clearly not the right body. So, like,
it clearly is his body, yo.
No, this able body, this able body, bro.
It's able body.
You still believe that?
This able body literally just got right back up, is still continuing to not open its mouth when it speaks, and is continuing to have the exact same expression on at all times. Like, we don't even know that he's taken damage besides the dirt on his face. Like, otherwise, he's still the exact same.
Does look like a blood coming down. Does look like blood coming from the top of his head.
He's
coming down.
What page?
Page 6.
That's a shadow on his hair.
Nope, that's blood.
That's blood?
That looks like blood.
That's way lighter than any blood that I've ever seen in that exact same position. But, it probably is blood, because then we see it again on page 8 when on the hump panel. So, like, but it just, I don't know. It doesn't look like blood to me, but it probably is blood, or whatever we can assume
your
to be
point
blood
still
inside of that
stands.
body.
No, your point still stands. He got fucking pile drive by fucking mash on your head, on the cement that broke and rubbled the cement. This guy should not have survived.
But this has happened several times in
Right,
the manga already.
It has happened several times in the manga already, which is why it's not that big of a deal, I guess. But at the same time, it's like you're the final boss, and you're basically losing the exact same way Abyss Razor did. You take a big attack, you don't look like you're all that hurt, you have a conversation that says, I understand that I've lost, and then continue on. So we can assume that that's just the manga following the formula that it has
doesn't really like kill people, right?
No, it's not even it's not even about killing
all of his puppets at this point. He beat the big puppet's ass. He beat Lemon and Finn's ass.
Yep.
And he beat all the fodder puppets' ass. Like, what other puppets can he throw at him?
You're right. So
and he need him in the face hard as fucking suplex the shit out of him.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I guess all of his puppets are done. So it's like, what else can he throw at him? But I guess I was just expecting something more grandiose than just a
climactic,
second. Well, just something more than just a second spell. Because he has 3 lines. So I was expecting something from there. I also have, like, the theory that I had last week about how this is just a fucking dummy puppet and Abel is actually the baby doll. So, like, if he did destroy or beat the Abel body, then, like, we get the scene of I'm really the baby, and here's my actual third spell and actual ultimate attack is something that I was expecting. I'm not saying that I'm upset because I didn't get what I was expecting, but it just seemed going into the chapter a lot less natural of a flow than.
And let me give you like my justification of this, because I was upset too. My justification, it's like, okay, I'm going with the third spell is just the fact that he had a fucking tree of puppets in the back that are feeding him energy, which it has restored him his health, which seems weird because this was like a mana thing, but, like, I don't know, maybe it can restore his health too, because it's just like, Abel isn't a guy who has shown, and obviously he hasn't had much screen time to show, but it's like, some of these people who have taken physical beating have shown, like, physical prowess. Like, Dote took physical beating and he showed physical prowess to, like, back it up. And it's like, when you have M.A.N.G.A going to, like, this
Abyss Razor
far, this extent. And Abyss Razor, exactly. Abyss Razor had fucking physical fucking feats to show you. And I mean, sure, some of it was his magic, but that's not, you could clearly see that he had a physical ability mixed with magic. So he has to have a high physical prowess there. So, like, those make sense where, like, this dude, it's like, all you've done is stand there with a puppet and if you make M.A.N.G.A go to that extent to really first knee you and crush your whole fucking face, and then fucking pile driver you where you see your head get smashed into fucking cement that rubbles, you should not just get up and walk off like this. Like, it just
if you don't have any, like, physical
I think there's a lot of evidence
to
in the story that
it.
these are these are pretty high physical ability mages in comparison to other.
Sure, and you can always make that assumption.
Even with this, even there's evidence. Even with this dude on page 14, the sword is right. This person who may or may not be Lance.
No, he's not Lance.
Lance isn't real. Hashtag Lance isn't real.
No. Lance is still real.
Is right in his face on page 13 on the bottom.
But it's Innocent Zero. He's the strongest fucking mage we know.
It's not
right
Innocent
now, other
Zero.
than...
Innocent Zero's an organization.
Yeah, it's a group. He's one of the people.
Sure. That's
but
that's what
reacts,
I'm saying. Like
he reacts to it, so it's like these are high physical ability mages, compared to others.
Well, you would expect the Akatsuki of this story so far to have this. Abel is just a fucking student, and his magic.
He's a 3-line student.
He's a 3-line student, and he is the top candidate for divine visionary.
Who seems to rely a lot on his magic and not on his physical at all.
I agree with you there.
And dish out puppets.
But basically the where I'm going with this is that it seems off-putting right now. Obviously the conversation that we've had where Eagle was talking about how all of his forces have been destroyed, so there's no more reason to fight. I hadn't really thought about that yet. So there's always that as far as why Abel is giving up in such a calm manner right now, because what was so off-putting to me is that the big bad, quote unquote, of the arc literally lost in the exact same way and scene as a previous fight in the series for this exact same character. So this is literally Abyss Razor again. But then we find out that there is way more to this situation than Abel, and that he's not as high up on the food chain as we thought. So that makes it feel a little bit better knowing that there's a bigger fish after Abel to deal with. And also Abel could just not be done in this arc, and he actually is this baby, or maybe my theory is not correct and he just comes back and does more later anyway. But the fact that Kiko made a really good point that there was just a whole tree of people getting their energy siphoned. We thought that there was going to be something with that very well could happen later on, or we thought we were going to get it in that fight, which would be what we would expect after the end of the last chapter instead of a surrender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and it kind of makes sense that a third spell would do something like that, where it's second is very grandiose, adding on to your the magic that you've been using, your first stage magic. And so from second stage magic to go to third stage magic, to just have it be another, I'm doubling down again would kind of be stale. So third level, it's have
to do something different than just more
completely
raw
different
damage output.
Yes, completely different. Have other functions, and also be to affect things in a more grand scale. It's I got all these people attached to this thing, and obviously we saw Gravioli second was pretty fucking crazy, and that would obviously affect anything within the spires, but I just think a third would just have a lot more to it, not just I'm doubling down on my ability,
not
again,
just a damage multiplier of some kind.
Definitely.
Well, I will say that it is possible that he does not even know the third spell, right? He can do it presumably because he has 3 lines, but maybe he doesn't even know it. And I will say that I'm pretty sure what he's been doing this entire time has been second level, right? And so
he says
And so isn't this tree a second level? It wasn't the whole thing when he says when he releases everyone, right? He says what is it? Mariones Liberation. That was his second level. The Mariones right. Baby time, whatever that doll, right? That was a Mariones level spell.
And that was second. Well, it's that's the thing. It's that big giant fucking, obviously you
doll
had
thing.
the Ongoki fucking marionette on top holding the baby. That whole thing. That whole thing, being the second spell makes a lot of sense. That here's second. Obviously, we're just doubling down again on our ability, what it is right now. We're sure, all those people being attached could be a part of that, which that is a good catch. I didn't catch that Mariones is the exact same that he was saying with the second, so that's fine. But I still think it's just better to have, if we're going third here, it can't be damage multiply. It can't be not only just ability multiply. This is the same thing but better. Same thing but better.
Right. Like it should be different.
Give us
another
new facets.
thing.
Give us new facets to your.
And we have. I think we have so far all the first or whatever you want, firsts or whatever, and the seconds. It's hard to say.
It's tough.
But those at least have been different, right? The first and second is very different. So I think our intuition of the third being significantly different is solid or whatever. And I just don't think he's doing it. Or it is the tree, as you say.
I'm just so glad that this other guy like came here and like he's clearly above Abel. And like I really hope that Abel's like involvement in this arc isn't finished, because like he just went out way too cool for being for being built up the way that he was. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, I understand you beat all my puppets. I have no more moves against you. So like they're obviously, like Eagle was saying, like why continue fighting? But just like a pile driver, then it's like, well, you whooped me here, your friends. All right, peace. It's just like, why wouldn't you be more upset? Why wouldn't you be more, you know what I'm saying? Like animated, you know what I'm saying? Like you lost a little bit too calmly after your build up, you know what I mean? But since there's a guy above him and potentially he could have more involvement later, it makes it feel a little bit better. But this was just kind of awkward to me at first. Yeah. But Eagle, sorry. Eagle's trying to get in there.
Well, I don't know. I was just going to say something. I was like, it's hard to be upset when you're like, you get your ass beat by a dude and then he gets up, you get up and he's like, all right, I won. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And you're like, what's up, bitch? Yeah, you beat my ass, but like, you ain't about to change the way I think. And he's like, I know.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really be mad. You're like,
yeah.
I don't know. He's a villain. He could be mad. He could be mad just because he's a villain.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. Like maybe put a little bit more emotion.
I mean, but then if you're mad, you're just a salty little bitch because, like,
I know
that's he's what not most even villains are.
With you anymore. He's just like, all right, I beat you.
So
you know what I want. I'm gonna leave you alone. But I was saying in the reaction stream, that it could be a cool moment of development for Abel and a cool moment of like power establishment, because like Mosh, if he just solos this dude. He did have his little display against Rain, but like I don't want to think he's divine visionary level already.
Yeah,
he got all the coins. He balling.
For Abel and Mosh to like team up against this dude, as corny as that might be, I think would be a good moment of like power establishment and development for Abel to to do.
So what I was gonna say, was
Abel's
that,
getting his ass beat. Mosh like intervenes because he's not about like, he's gonna help people out, obviously, regardless of how shitty they are, if he feels they need help. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Abel's like, oh shit, he's helping me actually. So it could be something.
Could be something like that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
What I was gonna say is that I think this dude's personality is meant to be wooden, like his ability is dolls. His personality is meant to be completely no personality. You know what I mean? Like thematically, like Dote, his personality is explosive, right? And all this stuff, right? So I think it makes sense that his personality is just he got his ass kicked and he's not stoic, right? So, but the most stoic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Stoic and unchanging.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you, Eagle. I do think, especially Mash's line, like, oh, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing all this like for your mom's memory, right? Like that means you're
as I thought.
You're not really a bad person as I thought. You have a reason, right? And I think that is another out, as we've gotten several times before with Abyss Razor, for example. Like Abel is not going to be a bad guy at the end of the day, right?
And it still is very early in Marshall's story to where like, even though this has kind of been built up to be the biggest conflict yet, obviously, like it doesn't have to end in a way that like, feels like, the main villain of the series has been defeated or something like that.
Right.
Like,
so is Abel going to be like
stone, even though it's a major one for the story so far.
So going forward, is Abel going to be like Draco Malfoy?
It's really hard to say, but I think if
somebody who's like motivations and actions aren't exactly like on the up and up all the time, but like he's not exactly an enemy, but he's like a rival and like a not necessarily a good rival, but like
douchebag neutral party.
Douchebag neutral party.
Yeah.
I do like your idea though that this dude from Innocent Zero is going to come by. He literally says, "I'm off to go kill Abel because he failed."
Yeah.
I think Mash is going to protect him, and they're going to work together, and they're going to fight him, right?
Yeah,
I think so too.
And the fact that it'll take both of them teaming up at the very least to defeat this dude doesn't put Mash's like progression or development too far
Too
ahead
close
of,
to, like,
of
yeah.
what we think it should be at this point in the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, right? Because like the spider thing for MASH was all zeros, right? Like zero power. And so I do think it's possible that MASH's actual power is above 9999.
Yeah.
The fact that the spider is maxed out is great for me personally because
of him being higher, and the spider can only tell so much. Yep.
Exactly. The spider has a cap, right?
Yeah.
So that means Divine Visionary nowhere near. I mean, maybe near 9999, but like we have way more to go, and that's very good because if everyone was under 9999, it's like, okay, how long could this possibly go on of just all this like same ballpark, right?
I just want there to be magic introduced or applications of magic introduced eventually to, you know, kind of give a little bit more, not only just diversity to the kind of magic that we see, because there is a lot of diversity in the magic that we see elementally, but like it's all basically ways to either detain or attack somebody so far. You know what I mean? So like if we saw, and which is obviously all things that M.A.N.G.A can just strong arm his way out of, but I really want to see applications of magic or even just forms of magic introduced eventually that aren't like, you know, specifically damaging in any kind of way, or specifically you know, used to incapacitate or damage. Like I want to see magic that is applied that you literally cannot physically do anything like about, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's obviously like in the cards for a series like this, considering MASH's role in the story, because that's obviously how you switch things up, is by introducing magic that is going to get its effect done. It's gonna get its effect off, and it's gonna do what it needs to do regardless of if you punch it. It's not a beam, it's not a shackle, you know what I mean? Like it's I want to see things like that the most from Mashle right now. Otherwise I feel like I don't really have very many complaints for it even.
Man, I still got quite a few things I kind of want to talk about. I mean, before we even get past Abel here, I just this quote here, I dip my hands into power that I never should have, you know, like that. I mean, what does that really mean? Like, did he do something to get the third line? You know, like, is it just that, or is it just the fact that like puppet magic inherently is fucking shady and shitty, and like, okay, maybe I should have just used it just on puppets, right? Like, and I didn't have to take it to this level and start using it on people and stuff. And that may be all it could be, but it could be more than that.
This is this covered up chamber within the base of the fucking Lang.
Chamber of Secrets?
I told you, I mentioned this shit. No, the wall behind Abel that had a chamber.
Thought you were making another Harry Potter.
That had a wall built over the chamber that got broken. We saw like an open crack in the wall that went behind the chamber. I kind of jokingly said something about how there was like some kind of mystic entity back there, the Lang headquarters that they're like contracting with, like a fucking demon or some shit.
Maybe.
Dude, it's definitely gonna happen the way that you fucking said, Eagle, because obviously that is still a plot point that hasn't been tied up, right? With that crack in the wall that revealed an entirely different section of this room that we're apparently done with. You know what I mean? So it's like, why show that and then not do anything with it? Innocent Zero head is obviously on his way to kill Abel, you know, and he's either gonna fucking like whoop dude that what's his name? Rain Ames. He's either gonna whoop him and then go there and fight MASH and Abel. Or
no, Rain is tied up with this cannibal, Jean Pierre.
That's what I'm talking about, right? So like Jean Pierre said he's going to go kill Abel right now for failing.
No. He's stopping Rain.
Cat of Nine Tails said he's going to kill Abel.
Wait, hold on.
The shapeshifter is going to kill Abel.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Who else do you guys?
The fork and knife.
The cannibal, Toriko,
Wait.
The cannibal.
Yeah. So Rain pulls up on this dude who's disguised as Lance.
Yep.
That dude baps the fucking sword away, shapeshifts into his true form.
Yep.
And this is the cannibal, right?
Nope, there's a different guy.
He throws a giant fucking knife in front of him.
Page 18, you know? The knife comes down. Page 18, bottom left panel.
This guy. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about this dude, shapeshifter dude, who wants to go kill Abel.
Okay.
I'm basically saying that I agree with Eagle that this is going to turn into Abel's trying to be murdered. Yeah, Abel is trying to be murdered by this character, and Mosh is going to defend with him, and that's when we're going to see the totality of Abel's actual capability. You know what I'm saying? Like if there is more to his power, we're going to see it in that conflict, obviously, because we want to see something new from Abel, because we
wouldn't that
just
be
got
kind of
his
like
whole power set like in this last fight. So there's got to be more to it if he's going to fight again, I feel like.
Well, that would even be more for me. Like, why didn't you pull it out in the fight with Mash type shit?
Right, because then you can rationale like he's just came to a point where it was just like, it's pointless to try to fight this person. I'm not going to, like, I've just been beaten. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just done now. I don't want to fight anymore. Like my will to fight has kind of been crushed, even though I have more I could do. How effective is it really going to be, considering how vicious this dude has been whooping me this entire time? Maybe something like that. But if there's a new fight that's introduced where this dude wants to kill Abel now, and Mashle is going to help him, then that is going to bring out, because of survival, now is going to bring out the remainder of Abel's power set. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there is still more to it with that area being exposed and then not visited. So roundabout way to say I agree with you, Eagle. Sorry.
The shapeshifter guy. Let's talk about him for a little bit here now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're about that point in the story. So dude has a crown of thorns. And he has a friar robe and basically a friar haircut without the buzz in the middle. It's I feel like he's not the leader. I feel like he is second. I feel like he's like a friar is, servant to God. Jesus is also a lesser form of God, whatever, don't get me tied into this, but you know what I mean? Like it's serving the higher leader. I feel like, because obviously the crown of thorns is Jesus, but the friar robe and the friar haircut shit, I don't know about the earrings. I feel like that's what Eagle is referencing when he's cat of nine tails. I don't know.
No, the
why
cat of
keep
nine
saying
tails is like a self-disciplinary tool that very religious people use. It's basically like a whip type of thing. It's like a handle with a bunch of thin leather straps that come off of it, like nine or 10 of them. That's why it's called a cat of nine tails, and they're like usually spiked on the end. And for disciplinary purposes, they'll fucking whip themselves in the back with it as they fucking pray or whatever. It's something that was in the book, the Da Vinci Code. There was the
gimp dude who like kept the bad guy.
Dude, he was whacking himself with nine tails in one of the scenes.
They got him in Castlevania too. What was his name?
And that's the same thing that they hit Jesus with too. Like even like that's like the same weapon. I feel like they hit Jesus with in his story.
But so where are you seeing this flail somewhere? Like I don't.
No, it's just the way he's dressed, bro. He's
he looks like one of those like
cat of nine tails. That's what I'm calling him.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean,
he's got
just
the foxtail fucking tassel earrings is what he's got.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't really know
I didn't know what you were talking about either, but now that you've explained it, I can totally see that you're just saying like he gives off the vibe of someone who would flail themselves for their religion,
sins, bro.
For their sins,
Anyway. I just want to make the point that I think he's second in line. I don't think he's running shit.
I like
that. So I just had like a crazy thought as I'm looking at this dude's face or whatever. He has the same kind of lines Mash has. Mash's line is fake, right? He just made it up. But this dude has the exact same pattern of line as Mash has, except he has a double line, right? He has both sides. I wonder if Rain partially was like, oh, that line pattern, like I recognize that line pattern, like you're bad, right? Maybe he mistook Mash for this dude or something, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, wow.
I just think it's really I did not notice it at first, but like I feel like that has to mean something, right? Because we do think the line pattern does mean something. So maybe people
Rain already knew about this guy somehow. Rain already knew about this guy somehow.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, I like that we get to talk about this dark magic organization that fucking smuggles human trafficking and fucking, magical creatures, which is always cool, like smuggling creatures.
Magic drugs.
Magic drug. I mean, so like we kind of already seen,
Substance
like,
regular mushrooms.
I mean, that would make sense too, like to have this obviously in here. I mean, MDMA, it's people call that magic, right? Like,
blue magic.
But yeah. But yeah, like it's cool to have this because it's like, what were these people really doing? Obviously, this is kind of like an easy like anybody could have just assumed like, okay, you deal in all walks of shadiness. Here, let's just list them out here for you, you know. But yeah, like magical creatures. I mean, I always was, you know, I'm just happy to see it. It's like I really want to actually know like smuggling magical creatures. Like, what does that really mean? Like drugs. Obviously, we know drugs. Human trafficking. We know what human trafficking is. Smuggling creatures. It's like. Sure, we've seen things like that in other stories, but like that has the most possibility for shit we don't, you know,
for reasons why they would be doing it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, we have had magical creatures in the story, right? Giant scorpions, dragons, Sphinx,
definitely, exactly.
You know,
yeah. So smuggling them though, like why?
Oh yeah,
right?
for
like,
what?
Why?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. We know why you smuggle drugs. We know why you smuggle people. Like it's that happens all the time in the real world. So those are real things that are happening. Where it's like smuggling magical creatures. That's the biggest open-ended book right there for us out of this stuff. So
maybe
most interesting to see
regular creatures. You know. Pets, zoos, and you know,
right.
Put them
but the fact that they're magical,
exactly.
The fact that they're magical means that there could be specific reasons why you want.
No, there could be.
Yeah. I mean, I throw out my Pokeball with a fucking Sphinx in it. Sphinx jumps out and asks you a fucking question. You can't answer, and you get turned into stone. It's like obviously that's a great thing to run with, or you know, whatever. You know, just to increase their power. So I mean, that's
Sphinx. I choose you.
What are we talking about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about? We're talking about Mashle.
We're talking about Mashle right now.
Sphinx Pokemon. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That didn't make sense. What I said right there. That didn't make sense.
It did.
Tangential.
I don't think it was.
It's not tangential. It's in the fucking story. What are you talking about?
You're talking about Sphinx Pokemon.
No.
In the story? I'm talking about smuggling magical creatures.
He's saying
smuggling magical creatures, which has been stated in this chapter.
Yeah, he said.
Sphinx Pokemon.
No.
It's just an example.
He's saying
I like the idea that there
could
are
happen
creatures that possess like cool abilities. Maybe that they're doing.
I gotta be clear.
Black market experimentation to like get DNA out of these creatures to splice into people.
Where did you read DNA in this chapter?
No, listen, bro. This is what Kiko. This is what Kiko is trying to say.
This
is what Kiko is trying to say, bro.
Okay.
These magical creatures could have special abilities because they're magical. If they do have a special ability because they're magical, it could be something along the lines of I throw Sphinx out, and we're using Pokemon as a joke reference because you're using it as a Pokemon. Yeah. So he goes Sphinx, and then Kiko gave that Sphinx an ability, a random one that he just made up off the top of his head.
That's a Sphinx's ability. Actually,
wait, but not in Pokemon.
You can't answer. No, but in lore, if you can't answer the Sphinx's riddle,
he was just giving the Pokemon, aka the random creature, an ability as a reason why you would want to steal it to increase your firepower by having magical creatures with abilities.
I don't mean that anybody's actually going to pull out a Pokeball. Just so you know that. Like nobody's going to pull out a Pokeball. So
how can They're going to the Sphinx asking you.
That's just, we're just. Yeah, we're just theorizing. This theory.
Well, see, no, we're deep diving now. We're deep diving. So, so the Sphinx asks you a question. What you gonna do about it?
Answer it.
If you don't, you get turned to stone.
Oh,
no. If you get it wrong,
you said if you answered, if you get it wrong, okay.
Yeah, and if you can't answer, you also get turned into stone. There's a time limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sphinx.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I am good on Mashle, though. That is all the points that I felt like I wanted to make.
I just felt like Jean-Pierre gave off. Obviously, you mentioned Toriko, which I'm sure we all thought.
Oh, sure. But Jean-Pierre. We gotta talk about Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, but he also feels like Captain Kuro to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's who I saw right away. You know,
that's awesome.
Kurada Hall.
Yeah, for sure. He's got the slick back haircut. Mm-hmm. It's not dark, but basically the exact same head and posture.
I was trying to look up the name Jean-Pierre to see if there was some kind of cannibal named that. I couldn't find anything, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't search anything for it, but
you know, cannibals are. I'm sure like mass murdering serial cannibals are usually in history somewhere. You know, we got Jeffrey Dahmer and whatnot. You know, so like.
Yeah.
All right,
that's it for me.
I'm good.
Alrighty then, with that, I think we can go ahead and get right into chapter 268 of Black Clover, Devil.
Love this chapter.
Yeah, this chapter was pretty decent.
This is where I feel like
I like the
Tabitha
backstory
shines.
of the devil.
Yeah. Well, I just like how many questions it's raising, right? Because like one of my complaints about Black Clover, whether I'm right or wrong, is how predictable it feels. And when I'm wrong, obviously that's a good feeling, because it means that it's not doing the shitty thing that I predicted that I felt like it was going to do. So yes, prove me wrong as often as you can in a story like this that I feel like I have so many criticisms for. That's good. I want to be wrong in those situations. But like, as far as this chapter goes, there's so much to discuss, I feel like, compared to most Black Clover chapters, because like there's so many questions being raised here, because a lot of information is given but no definitive answers to any of the most important questions that are raised from it. So it gives us a really cool story, but it gives us a lot to talk about at the same time, and I feel like that's the kind of atmosphere that I like want for Black Clover discussion and analysis right now, coming out of what we've been talking about. So
right,
yeah.
Well, this I don't know. This is kind of indicative of like within the devil world, there's probably going to be a lot more devils that are willing to say fuck this devil shit.
Yeah,
than we would think. It's probably only the top 2 or 3, maybe 5 devils that are really enjoying the shit, because they can shit on
anybody,
everyone else.
They probably got a little round table that they sit at, and they're like, we lord over all these little fucking peons and shit, and everybody else down below, they would just as soon say like, fuck these motherfuckers,
Yeah, I'm just so happy because this is just like such a good way to go about this devil situation. Coming out of the cliffhanger from like last chapter that like made us think a whole bunch of things. Obviously, we had a lot to say about it, but then like getting the information here that the situation with the devil and the reason why we feel bad for him isn't just because Asta's getting through to him and changing him in any kind of way.
Yeah,
it's because he actually relates to the situation for like a really good reason that was totally unexpected. So like I'm super excited for Black Clover right now for the first time in a really long time. Because Tabbats is just like really flexing that pen on a writing level, I feel like, for me personally, for the first time in a long time. So
Yep, for sure.
And this like, feels so planned and like and thought out compared to a lot of the other things that we've kind of been complaining about in this arc so far. But
I feel like a big contrast to last chapter, where I was very much criticizing the emotion, right? Like Asta saying all these things like, I'm not going to hurt you, or like, I can't let you kill me. It's just how it is. We're going to have this fight and I'm going to win, and that's all there is to it. Yeah. There was like zero emotion. This chapter, tons of emotion.
Yes.
And like, from Liebe, the devil, and from Asta's mom, what's her name, Lisita?
We can assume is Asta's mom.
It's Asta's mom.
Well, there's another idea that I feel like it could be considering,
and it's wrong.
Considering Asta's mother's ability, it sounds a lot like Henry's ability, right?
Yep.
So like, and I think it was actually when I was watching Eagle's reaction that someone in the chat said like, "Is this Henry that she's dropping off in this basket?" You know what I'm saying? And not Asta. But if it's Asta, then like that poses the question like, did she just abandon her kid because she thought that her ability would hurt it by sapping the mana from it? But
and
Asta
life,
never had mana. Oh, and life too.
Yeah, it's both.
Oh, it's both.
Yeah, that was the difference between Henry's ability and Lisita's ability, was the fact that the life was also sapped.
Right.
And myself and somebody else in the chat at that time also pointed out that Henry knew his parents.
Yeah.
They basically gave him that house and said, "Here,
are those his real parents or those are his adopted parents?" Did we know that?
Or that's a good question. I just that was never. I don't know if that was ever specifically stated.
Right.
I think it was just the story we got that he was from a family of royals.
Yeah.
And they basically like condemned him to this house because he was like sapping all their mana and shit. They said like, "Go live here by yourself."
Okay.
And basically fuck off.
So it could still be adopted parents, not actually birth parents.
That could be a curveball that we get.
I will tell you one thing that is absolutely confirmed. Lisita's face is literally Asta's face.
It's literally Asta's face.
Right. But that brings me,
she has and the antenna.
One little antenna. He's got two, but she has one.
Yeah. But that brings me to another possibility here, is that Henry and Asta could be related to each other. And whenever she has kids, because of the fear of hurting them, she drops them off. Henry doesn't have the life sapping aspect, only the mana sapping aspect. Does he need to get both from his mother? Could he just get the mana sapping aspect of it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and if they were brothers, it would be poetic because obviously Asa's the only one who can spend like really long amounts of time around Henry with no detriment. So if they are brothers, it would be poetic in that sense where like they're perfectly meant to be able to spend time with each other and be
like Havoc and Cyclops, bro. Or Asta's mom is the reason why Asta has no mana right now, because she sapped it all from him during the womb during the carrying process. Yeah.
I definitely think that.
Right. And then maybe Henry is, or maybe they're twins, and Henry got the ability passed down to him, and Asta, like, I don't know, fucking was supposed to get something else, but then got his mana sapped. You know what I mean?
I do think there's a poetic way to view them not as brothers, because who cares about Henry? End of story. I'm just it's mostly a joke, but
I was like, wait a minute, who does care about Henry?
So I don't even care if they're related. They're not related to me.
Yeah. And relation is kind of a stretch, but I mean, like, I just feel like it would be cool.
Well, I mean, brothers is related, but they ain't brothers.
Yeah. I think it would be
As's
cool.
brother is Liebe,
And that's fucking awesome. I love that. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, great. Like, it's his fucking dad.
I
like,
know. I was so
devil.
scared.
I was like, oh god, I don't even want that to be true. But like, brothers, like adopted brothers. Yeah.
This is really fucking cool, dude.
I really like it.
I really like this backstory.
I sound negative, but I'm actually really hyped about this chapter. This is one of my favorite chapters of Black Clover in a long time.
Yeah, in a really long time.
Super cool was just Lieb's magic, the like pocket dimension magic. That shit was really cool to me.
Yeah.
Lisita.
Lisita.
Or wait.
What did I say? I said Lisita.
No, you said Liebe.
Oh yeah. Lisita's magic, the pocket dimension.
Well, yeah, which I mean,
ability.
I've just been calling it Dino Cat magic, really.
Yeah, Caps of course.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I mean, just a quick little thing to throw out here that Liebe means love and kindness.
In German.
In German, yeah. So that's makes a lot of sense to why, like, that's his name. It's a good chosen name here because of he didn't have any love or kindness in the devil world.
He's adorable too. He's just adorable.
Yeah.
He's like the sweetie baby devil boy. He's cute. He's really cute.
Sweetie devil boy baby time.
Apple pumpkin pie. But yeah, it's just that, I mean, he didn't have any love or kindness literally in his entire devil life, and this is the only person to show him love and kindness is this human, which is so great that, you know, they could spend time with him because of their basic affinity for each other. Still raises the question, how the fuck does Asta have anti-magic? How did this all turn into anti-magic? You know, is that just the grimoire? But if the grimoire didn't have any spells and it's just like I just found this grimoire. It's a five leaf clover.
Wait a
with
minute.
Zach about that like an hour ago or hour and a half ago. I was over at his house and talking to him about it, and
where does anti-magic come from?
Yeah, it's like I was saying like maybe the sword magic got corrupted by the fact that the devil was in the grimoire and that caused the anti-magic, but the grimoire was already corrupted when Lisita put him in it.
Yeah,
really?
It already was
on the appearance or what?
Just the appearance. Yeah.
Sure,
I mean, it's the only book we've seen that looks like this. But regardless,
that was Lick's sword magic grimoire.
Yeah, Lick's sword magic grimoire. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it was just old, moldy.
No, it was corrupted from the moment like it turned black like that and ashy after the
maybe it's
after the whole devil situation.
Yeah. But
I believe you, Eagle. I believe you.
Okay, no.
I'm sorry. It's just the way he said it was so funny to me.
Okay, so
moldy.
Anyway,
go ahead. Sorry.
Was the grimoire did not look like this when it was in Lick's possession, right? Like it was clean back then, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
In the flashback. Exactly. That's the thing. Like I'm trying to get to here.
Sorry. Yes.
Exactly. I'm trying to get a point here. Well, basically the point is
when it got corrupted and turned into the demon.
I mean, I'd
just
love
for your
to
reference.
Just let him say what he's got to say. I'm sorry, dude.
Love to get a point in here that. It's still, to me, and there's going to be a lot of lines that need to be connected here, dots that need to be connected, because it's like this still doesn't make any sense that Licht had sword magic that was really like light magic, but like in the form of swords, turned into anti-magic after this devil gets put into his old grimoire. That, I mean, okay. And obviously Tabata's going to explain this, but like this is the only grimoire that was just found, right? Like I just found this bitch. I'm walking down the street and it was just laying in the fucking grass. I found this fucking grimoire. Here it goes. Okay, I'm gonna put this fucking devil in here. And it's like, okay, what happened to it then? How did it get back into the library? That fucking Asta gets it out of the library at the first chapter of the story. Obviously I'm asking questions that hopefully are answered in the near future.
Yeah, we can assume to be.
But I've been asking this question for a very, very long time, is how the fuck does Asta's anti-magic in this black book be the same thing that Licht has when it's a completely different infinity and it was deemed sword magic, even though he's using light magic? It's just, there's
got to be a common denominator that we like can't locate right now.
that I've been trying to ponder for so long, like, and I can't.
If anything,
I can't figure it out.
If anything, Liebe living in the grimoire lets me. It tells me that there is actually a very easy explanation that we've not been given it yet. I think it's very easy to say, like, okay, you take sword magic, you put a devil in it who's anti-magic, he's not anti-magic, he's no magic.
No,
right?
He's no magic. That's the problem.
Oh, so that's what it is then. The fact that there's no magic there at all, and the fact that he's like an extra dimensional being that's like not really supposed to be in this one, maybe, is like what's corrupting it in a way that like creates that reverse energy of
whatever happened to the grimoire has already happened before he's living in it.
No. I'm saying like
that's possible too.
Sure. I know, but what I'm saying doesn't really have anything to do with that. What I'm saying is that like not anything to do with the book itself. The fact that this magicless devil comes through to our plane of existence. And the only reason why is because he doesn't have any magic. So like this could be breaking a rule that like has something to do with the balance of energy itself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So because this devil is now somewhere he's not supposed to be, that is whatever energy related with that combines with whatever other energy, like the energy of his area and the energy of our area, maybe like a matter and antimatter kind of situation where when they combine it, they neutralize each other, and regardless is the end factor is zero. You know what I'm saying? And you can equate anti-magic with that zero in a way that it works as like an opposite energy. Yeah,
and that makes sense because it's like on a linear level when you're saying, okay, Licht is using sword magic, even though it takes the fucking property of light, which was always confusing to me. But you figure like, okay, if I'm gonna put this devil with no magic in here, and this was a book that had basically light magic, it's light magic to me. And so like you reverse that, you'd be like, okay, it's Yami, right? It's darkness magic at this point. Like that makes sense. But I mean, what you're saying obviously needs a little bit more like fleshing out, but it makes sense exactly which direction you're going.
We could get a very similar, even if I'm not entirely on the nose with what I'm saying, I can see a very similar explanation being used to explain where the anti-magic comes from. Yeah.
When you said antimatter, it made me feel better, even though antimatter and anti-magic sure sound the same, but it's not the same thing in any way. But like that's what I'm thinking. I'm like light, like okay, you got antimatter is kind of a counter property to light, I guess. So like I don't know. I need this information. I can't wait till we get it. And I hope it works well, because it's to me I can't put my finger on how this is supposed to work. But I like what Noxie said, but it could also be what Eagle said too. Like things could have happened to this book already prior to Liebe being put into it, and like Liebe, his zero magic could also alter it as like both things can be true too, right? Like
I mean just kind of clarification. Page 6.
Yeah.
Top panel.
Yeah.
She pulls the book out and says, I'm about to put you in this.
Yeah.
Already corrupted 5-leaf demonic grimoire.
Yeah.
Shit has already happened to it.
We're not.
He has no magic, so he really can't do anything to it. So like
I don't think
whatever
me and
was
Kiko
going on with the
talking
book,
about
he is like
anymore.
integrated himself with it in a way where he has made the power his own.
Well,
I don't think he's the source of it in any way.
Are you just saying that to like reinforce your point from earlier, or are you trying to say that
it's
like a counter to like okay, so it's not like it's not like a contradiction.
Here's a question.
Book.
Okay.
Here's a question for you, Eagle.
And he made himself a part of it.
Okay.
So I think Eagle, I think you remember a lot more of Black Clover than the rest of us. when you say this book is already corrupted, like, is there some scene I'm forgetting where the book was X and then the book was Y and it was some magical thing that happened that made it corrupted?
I was trying to say earlier when Kiko thought I was trying to interrupt him, I was just trying to help him out.
You were interrupting me.
Yeah, you were.
I was trying to help you out.
Yeah, but you were
understanding the point you were trying to understand.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I didn't.
So you're saying.
So just explain the scene that you're trying to say is what corrupted.
I said licked when he turned into the full demon, full tilt, went big ass fucking demon mode.
Yeah.
Full despair, holding his dead wife in his arms.
Yeah.
Or the wife that we thought was dead who turned out to survive. But that is when the demon. I'm sorry. I'm like,
yeah.
No, you got it.
That makes sense. What you're saying.
That is when the devil like fully corrupted the grimoire. He like went mad, got the red eyes.
Yeah.
The grimoire went all fucked up. He turned into the big demon, and then yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense, definitely.
And then afterwards, Sekre was like, "I'm going to keep watch over this," and then somehow it ends up like in her hands.
Yeah.
And then like you said, somehow it ends up in the tower. And so that's all like weird chain of events we don't know about.
Yeah.
But the book was like corrupted by the time she had it and put him in it already.
Yeah, and then for all I got to say to that is like, what does corrupted mean in that in this sense? Because like that doesn't mean that turned it to anti-magic at that point, right? Yeah, but I'm glad you explained that too, because Nickums is completely right. You do remember more of this story than any of us, and we do have to rely sometimes on your memory. I tried to watch anime. The anime was bad for so long. It got better, and I was like, all right, it's getting better. And I don't know. I just didn't continue on with the anime for whatever reason. Obviously I watched like the Lick fucking Julius fight.
Well, they got to do the simulcast thing where they fucking mix in.
Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit, so much bullshit. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We have Lucifero come through in the flashback into the young boy, into the Liebe. And
so any devil.
Yeah, any devil. That was pretty cool.
Without a contract that exists in the human plane can just be taken over by a higher ranking devil.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like just Lucifero or if any higher ranking devil or maybe some combination thereof, like Lucifero and a few other super high level devils or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
What was the reasoning for why Lucifero? Like it says who'd have.
He just said he can.
No.
He said who'd have believed the devil would be in the human world without making a contract with a human.
And then he said, "I'm glad I killed time by looking for him." So like, does it say like?
Then he says, "What a find! I'll use him to search for a way to manifest my own body into the human world."
Yeah, I was trying to like think if I like missed his reasoning for going to look for Liebe in the first place.
They're bored in the underworld.
Yeah, in the other world, they threw him at the gate and he went through, and I'm sure all those devils are like, "Oh shit, he went right through the gate. What the fuck?"
Yeah, and
then
he's
rumor
like, maybe I should go
made
look
it
for
to
this
Lucifero.
Dude. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go look for this dude now. Okay.
And Lucifero does say, "I can interfere with a lowly devil from anywhere. I will return."
I don't know why, but I just want to again. I think everybody's going to remember this other than me, not just Eagle this time. But so is Lucifero the gravity or is he the body magic? Which one is he? Because one's Dante magic. And one's and that kind of makes a little bit more sense. Maybe.
No. Body magic is Dante's magic.
Yeah,
gravity is Lucifero. Yeah.
See, gravity is hard to say because if it's body magic, that would explain why you can take body or possess his body.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't really make sense why a devil would have body. What does that mean?
No, it's gravity. It's gravity.
Yeah, it's gravity. It's gravity. Okay. So I was trying to draw a parallel in why he can actually do this, but there's no other reason than I'm Lucifer. I'm running shit down here probably.
Or if it's a stronger devils can possess weaker devils kind of situation too, that sounds like hellish enough. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like it's you don't have to suspend disbelief for an ability like that for a devil to have. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But did you guys have anything else you wanted to say about this chapter?
No,
I like the ending. I like the ending, right? Because it totally like makes you think like, okay, so like obviously this dude's gonna be like cool now after we get this flashback and we get all this pathos, and then like I'll never forgive them. I'm going to use your body to get revenge on these devils now. So like now we know, okay, these are the reasons why our goals align. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Asta would prefer if you just like gave me some power to go fight with, but obviously Libe is like, no, I'm going to give you all of the power, but I'm taking your body to use it myself. I'm not.
If that's what I have to do,
like I'm not lending you like anything to get this done. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to just take your body and go do it.
He might.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying in the dialogue, like.
Oh no, he will for sure.
Like we know that he's going to.
After Talk No Jutsu, he definitely will.
But I just like how the end of the chapter wasn't just like I'll cooperate with anything you want me to do.
Yes. There is now contention that makes sense in this scene, and that's the important thing. And I mean, I just kind of wanted to echo that I did, because I haven't said it. I think, and we are all pretty critical on this, and that's why I want to say it too. I really, really enjoyed this chapter. There was a lot of feeling. I was emotionally invested. It was really good. I really hope we keep this direction. I hope it's not just Talk No Jutsu next chapter, one chapter, and we like totally fix this without, like I want more fleshing out of the world and this situation and underworld and anti-gravity or Jesus Christ, anti-magic.
Anti-gravity.
How did that happen? How did the anti-magic happen?
That's definitely still a big question.
Yeah, that's a huge question.
Like, how did that actually come about?
Yeah.
What combination of things made this fucking shit result in anti-magic?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Still a big question mark, and I'm wondering like if it's something that can be tied together well by Tabata.
I think he can.
I think he can do it. Yeah.
Specifically the anti-magic, I would like to think that you have an explanation for your main character's ability. If you don't have an explanation for your main character's ability,
you wrote your story at all.
The story feels like it's not so like fly by the seat of your pants. Like this more than anything in the story, based on the fact that the devil has been around since chapter 1. This ability's been around since chapter 1. This feels more so than anything else like it's been planned.
Yes.
Not from the beginning for at least a good bit of time.
For the beginning.
He's been playing the series like really fast and loose, but like this is the one concept that he has to have been the most confident about going into the writing
I hope
of
so.
the story.
I do. I think so. I would like to think so.
I think so too. Yes, definitely.
Alrighty then, with that, we can probably go ahead and get right into chapter 288 of Boku no Hero Academia. Save Takeo. That's Takeo, right?
Takeo.
It almost looks like a D, like.
But it's
Takeo.
This is Japanese.
This chapter is a really big deal because right away on this page we have what we can probably assume to be the return of Best Jeanist character, which is
that's who you think it is.
We have. I mean, it could be someone else, but I don't know. I don't know why we would show this like wheel of thread that was there the last time we saw like Best Jeanist.
I think we should talk about it.
Yeah.
That's what you think it is.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Question mark. Yeah. Like I just want to know why. I want to hear his.
Okay, I didn't know it was a question. I thought it was
that second panel though. That second panel of that pretty obvious wheel of thread. Like that's good evidence of it being Best Jeanist.
That's literally literally the same like wheel of thread that was there. Like we have a scene earlier in the series where Best Jeanist is like younger. I think it's a flashback.
I didn't even register that.
Me either.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it. I don't even remember like it in the actual like manga. I saw it. I think in our Discord. I think someone brought it up. Maybe it was Yatogami. But like it was either on Twitter or it was in our Discord. I literally saw like a side by side panel of like a young Best Jeanist in front of this exact same wheel of thread.
Okay. Yeah, like I don't know what I thought like these were. I thought maybe they were tanks or something, I guess. But yeah, they do look like spools of shit. Yeah.
Spools of something.
I thought it was cable. I thought it was a spool of cable.
Like fiber wire.
Yeah, fiber wire. And so that's the thing is like that was just my first question. Who the hell is this? I had no idea. That's why I was like, okay, that's who you think it is and why basically. And
the only reason I said what I said is because I thought you were like saying that.
Thought he was clowning me for bringing it up. Yeah, thought I was.
No. Yeah, just to be clear. No,
think it is.
I don't. No. I'm just happy it's not Mirio. Like that's the thing.
Oh, you thought it was Mirio?
Mirio.
And I didn't think it was Mirio because of the silhouette. It looks like a suit, right? Like Like I thought it was somebody in a suit. Like I was like, who the fuck's ever been in a suit? And Best Jeanist is in a fucking denim thing, but it's still
the same. It's the same contour as like a suit. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll give us a similar silhouette. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, and there's no telling what that fabric was meant to be. Like you know, like that very well can be denim, dark denim, whatever. You know, it just, to me, I was like, okay, somebody in a suit coming back. Who the fuck would be coming in a suit? The only person I know wears a fucking suit is fucking All For One.
And the only big character that would make sense to pull up right now that's coming out of Damage is Best Jeanist. And they're saying, especially since you're not for sure. Back to full health.
You're 100% right. You're definitely correct.
I feel like that has to be Best Jeanist.
Okay. Good.
Nice.
So we got the Vision on page 3 here. Is that who that is?
Let me see. Hold on. Wait, where? Oh my God! It's Red Tornado or the Vision. Basically the same character.
I was gonna say, and he doesn't have like a full red face, so like I was like, I know there's a better character, but all I can think of is Vision. I know Nox has got me about a better character.
It definitely looks like Red Tornado or Vision or My Hero Academia's version of both of those characters, since they're basically the Marvel and DC equivalent of each other.
So here's I have an opinion about this kind of monologue. I don't know who's talking, right? So some hero.
I think it's Skeptic, isn't it? Oh wait, no,
Skeptic's the villain.
No, I'm sorry. You're talking about page 1, 2, 3.
Yep, 2, 3. Like, there's this huge dialogue of someone yelling like, "Shit's fucked. We fucked up really bad. This is our failing. These good people just happen to be in the way. We must save their lives, even at the cost of our own. Why should they suffer for our mistakes?" I am pretty sure this is the attitude that heroes should have all the time. Right? And so this dialogue to me felt really flat, because I'm like, why? Like, why are you saying this? Why is this so revolutionary to you? Is it that most heroes are actually shitbags that don't do anything to help people?
Yeah, that's been evident. Is like,
I
mean,
guess
we talked about it before on the show, where it's like a huge industry now that is based more around merchandising.
Money and advertising deals.
Advertising yourself, advertisement deals, like you said. You become famous as a hero. You know, and most people probably don't even give a shit about saving people on that level.
It's a popularity contest, a fashion show at this point.
Deku, no matter what, he sees someone that needs help, all the fucking shit is dropped to the floor, and he's in that bitch, you know.
Whereas, I mean, it's everyone in UA. I feel like everyone in UA is not like this.
There's a lot of people, like, even in that first hero scenario, a lot of them that we've seen, like, we're gonna wait to see, you know, somebody who has a better quirk to handle the situation will come along. Where then there's people like, regardless of what quirk I have, I'm gonna fucking get in there and do what the fuck I can do to save these people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Most heroes probably do not have that mindset. Is my point.
That's that. Well, so that's why I wanted to ask Nick the question, because he said most people at UA are not like this. So like the students, it makes 1,000% why you're
idealistic.
You're idealistic and ambitious and stuff. But are you meaning even the teachers as well? Because the teachers aren't really like that either. They're actually like selflessly giving to the next generation, and like they could be out reaping these popularity contest rewards. Like, you don't see Midnight on the top 10. You don't see.
And we even see Aizawa that hates. We even see Aizawa that just hates the media outright and doesn't like this idea at all. And we have that.
I guess before this chapter, I kind of assumed that it was more like, I don't know, 80 or 90% of heroes were very heroic and super pure good, and like just like say Manual. We've criticized Manual a lot. Manual has a shit power, right? Only good for like, you know, coastal rescues or something. You know what I mean? He's out here. He's a genuine. So it's like, if someone as weak as Manual is a genuine hero, why isn't like most people a genuine hero? And I get you. I totally agree with you. Thematically, the whole story, we've had tons of heroes who, and say Stain is like, all y'all are like fakes, and so I get it.
Say it's the same reason why people in our life who can make a difference don't. They choose.
And we get that. We definitely get that. But I think why Nick is even struggling on this a little bit is because, like, even you reminded me of Stain, like the hero that we saw fucked up, like the Apache chief or whoever the hell that was in the alley. He was all fucked up, and he was actually trying to, you know, be heroic, doing the heroic. It's like, so most of the time, Horikoshi has shown us that the heroes are heroic. He never really hammered it home. He never's given us like firm examples on like people actually being shitty, other than Endeavor. Endeavor's the only one, and Hawks is like,
or say Ingenium. who all we know of Ingenium is that he's amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Ida's older brother.
Yes.
He must be a perfect hero. He must be a shining
role
We
model.
see it through the eyes of Ida only.
But Stain said, no, that dude's a prime example of a huge shitbag. He's a terrible hero, right?
Yeah.
Stain went after him because he was a fake hero.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but from our perspective, the reader, you're like, no, he's good, right?
Yeah.
Aren't most heroes good? And maybe this is reiterating that actually
we
maybe
only
most
see
heroes
these
aren't that great.
heroes through the eyes of people that either idolize them or we see them in situations where there's not an opportunity for them to be shitty blatantly.
Right.
Like we get dialogue from them that says like, well, I'm not really suited for this, so I'll just wait for a hero that is.
Yeah.
Obviously
like
that's not that's not a very blatant heroes are shitty. Like logically, like that kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like it contradicts the idea of what a hero is supposed to be that this series is fleshed out over and over again throughout the series, so that when you look back at those kind of instances, you go, that's like so contradictory to like what we think this like side of morality is supposed to look like. You know what I mean? I think it's supposed to be subtle so that you remember it and it's not like in your face in the moment. And it's also backed by logic so that you don't question it in the moment until we get situations like this where the villain is really getting in their bag, like monologue and dialogue wise, and really is starting to like affect the outlook of the reader and the characters involved. And then it sparks the memory of, oh yeah, this dude is kind of spitting because this dude from this chapter, this dude from this chapter, all are kind of like going and aligning themselves with what Shigaraki's kind of, or Stain is trying to kind of like complaining about right now. You know what I mean? Right. I think it's supposed to be thought about after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
During
and
the
you
internships.
Yeah.
Who was it that went with the? It was like a fucking. They were doing commercials and shit, and basically,
that was Momo.
Momo. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and like from
Kendo too, maybe
from our understanding. Yeah, I thought it was Kendo as well.
too. Yep.
But I almost wanted to say Kendo went to the Gunhead martial arts with Uraraka, but that's not. Yeah, Kendo was with Yamamoto.
Yeah,
and like
they did commercial.
They were with somebody who basically, like, from our understanding, I don't even think she did hero work anymore. She just did endorsement deals, commercials, and shit. And she was like,
who was it that they were with? Was that No.
Like basically the exact thing Stain is talking about, like where heroes are shit.
Yeah.
You know?
So it could be that whoever's talking, like, we don't know who's talking here, right? It's just some hero is talking.
Think so, yeah.
It could be actually that whatever hero is talking right now is actually someone who is kind of aligned with Stain, not necessarily a villain. I'm not saying a villain, but someone who like believes in what Stain believes, that heroes should be pure good, and he's like taking this up, or she potentially, right? They're taking this opportunity to be like, we fucked up so bad, and we have consistently fucked up the population for so long. We need to stand up right now and put our lives on the line, as we should have been this whole time, right?
Yeah.
I just think this
so it's like a meta commentary almost.
A meta commentary.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because if this was Hunter or fucking Jujutsu Kaisen, these would be square bubbles.
Yes,
and it would be
a narration.
Yes. And that's the thing that is weird. I really hope we get to know who the fuck's talking here. Like I really want to know. Yeah, like you can't just leave it like this without explaining this to us, unless there's something maybe we missed in another like a previous chapter or something. Like I don't think it would be if somebody knows, I would love to know, because it'd be great to. It just seems like, where do we fit it in now? Because now we're going into Ochako's finally what we needed from Ochako for probably a long time. And we're going into that now. We have all these different there's a lot of plot threads that are loose right now that need tying and so it's like, I don't know, like maybe this will it's just meant to be a rando screaming this. I don't know, like it is hard to.
Or is it that Vision character? Like the Vision character is the only person
is the one yelling,
with a yelling mouth and a head on the panel. You know what I mean? So is it this person? Like maybe we're about to have a new main character. You know what I mean? Like a new secondary character. I don't know. Maybe.
A new like scene, like
plot relative. A new plot relative character. Plot relevant character.
What I do like about this dialogue, or whatever we're gonna call it, I guess. I just love monologue, I guess. I mean, because it is verbal, and even now it still could be an inner monologue. It's not verbal, but monologue is correct. Yes. But what I like about it is that we're stating here on page 3, like, that Gigantomachia's fucking destruction path isn't just this linear line because of how destructive it is. He's throwing rubble, all these, it's smashing everything in all these different directions.
Basically,
got these big mole hands that like have these claws.
Yeah, with
on
the big mole
like,
hands.
Yeah.
And you'd have to jump to page 9, but this is actually where it's happening is on page 9. Yeah. And I was a little confused at first. About what's happening here because, okay, they're saying run away perpendicular from his path. There's still citizens inside these buildings. Split up and rescue him. 1 or 2 more over here, Uravity. Got it. And she's coming, to help. And then, no, Froppy, there's a big-ass fucking, piece of fucking debris flying, at the building, And so, like I just really liked that because... At first, I was confused, but then I'm like, oh, wait, no, this makes all the sense. This is exactly why we stated this to begin with, which felt like narration to me just because of we didn't know who it was coming from, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like narration makes sense with what happens on page 9, but it doesn't have to. I mean, like it still can be an inner monologue or whatever, or outer monologue. It doesn't
usually
matter.
Doesn't imply that like whoever's talking is speaking to somebody else. It's literally
no, I know that.
Oh no, I'm not saying that you don't know that. I'm just saying like when you said that it felt like it was narration because of page 9. Like
I think he meant it felt like a place where you could have used narration, but Horikoshi's style is not like a Togashi or Gege style where you're going to use narration. He's using character dialogue because he's a character-driven guy.
Okay. Same page.
Yep.
But yeah, man, this is a big deal. This Toga and you guys are ready to move on to Toga. And
Toga Spinner.
And Chaco.
Way before the Chaco. Yeah, we got to talk about some of that stuff. I just had a big question on, so Compress using the term handy when he got his arm ripped off. Like I was so confused. It's like handy. He's betraying his shameful lack of sophistication that Skeptic is like. I don't get. Like, because he used the term handy, is that what it was? But like, still, like he's saying shameful lack of sophistication, right?
I think this is page.
It's a double 4. Negative, right?
I think what Skeptic is saying here is that Compress said, "Look at this immensely high tech thing that you and your organization, Redestro, your organization has built up this satellite network and this camera system and all this computer programs." How handy? Like so trivial to say like, oh, it's handy. It's handy like a hammer. It's handy like a Post-it note, right? It's like, oh, you are betraying your shameful lack of sophistication, right? Like he's betraying the fact that he is completely unsophisticated, and all he can say is handy. He doesn't even appreciate how complicated this is.
That seems like he's showing his lack of sophistication.
I think the same kind of word. I think the same kind of word. Like you're betraying yourself. You're showing your hand.
To make a cheesy joke, you are betraying that like outward, sophisticated. You're betraying that outward sophisticated, persona that you give off to make a off-color joke at your own expense.
That's why I felt like it had to be something due to his not having one of his hands, even though he does. He has like a grown whatever a prosthetic on now. But he still is missing his real hand. Exactly. So I don't know. I just felt like there's something there that I'm missing, but it certainly could just be. I just don't like the wording here that the
I think it's just
translators chose for this.
Awkward wording. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless it was meant to be some sort of I don't have a hand pun. I think they could have made that more clear if it was meant to be a joke.
I think that is that's exactly what I thought too.
At the very least, just emboldened the text for like the word handy.
Yeah, that would have made a huge difference. Yeah. But man, so you wanted to talk about Spinner's line of dialogue with Toga, which is a good thing to talk about.
That's big dialogue.
I was ready to skip past it, and I'm glad that you guys
and her smile.
Yes, because this is a very humanizing moment for these villainous characters, which is something that Horikoshi is really good at. Is delivering believable pathos for these characters and making them relatable, in a way that shows a family oriented atmosphere among them, which always makes like these kind of this kind of dynamic and this kind of dichotomy that they explore inside of these like black and white, morality side stories where, obviously in Hunter, it's always established that it's like morally ambiguous. in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a known thing. Hunters are morally ambiguous, but like inside, and so like when the villains are the way that they are in Jujutsu Kaisen, it's amazing. We love that. When they are the way that they are in Hunter, we love that. But just knowing that there is a hard stop divider between the two factions inside of My Hero Academia makes this Hunter and Jujutsu Kaisen-esque interactions and atmosphere and dynamic with these villains hit that much harder for me in My Hero Academia because it's not supposed to be this morally gray. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to care about these characters this much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can only work on the villain side, right? Because it can't work on the hero side. They're not supposed to be morally gray in no means ever, which obviously is a big theme of the story. But I like a lot what you're saying about the family dynamic too, because this really hits home that Dabi does not consider himself part of this fucking family, and he doesn't consider himself any part of any family because his family betrayed him. Yeah. And it's really going to, I mean, we're going to see Dabi is his own fucking, his will is to him is going to be greater than Shigaraki's, greater than All for One's, greater than anybody's. And I mean, we could be lining this up for Dabi to have his own fucking faction away from the League of Villains and have his own third party vision of villain organization.
What?
Where am I getting this from?
I'm just wondering, like, he didn't even say anything.
He is just dismissive. Right. He's dismissive of the other members. He's dismissive of, like, Spinner's like, or someone was like, shouldn't we stop Toga? And he's like, I don't care. I don't care about you guys. I don't care about Toga, right? So it's just like he's not being a family member of the. I totally agree with Kiko.
I don't know how you can miss it. I don't know how you can miss it.
He cares about the villains, and he's showing.
I think he literally says.
How does he show it?
What did he literally say here?
Dude, he was going crazy over Twice.
No, he wasn't. No, he was going crazy over Hawks
for Twice.
No, he was going hard. He was going hard for Hawks' involvement in the Twice situation. Exactly. One, who cares, which is fine right there. But the Hawks situation, no. The Hawks and Twice situation is Dabi turning up to fight Hawks, but there was nothing inside of those chapters that made me feel like Dabi. He didn't make a single.
I disagree,
and that's fine. That's fine. But like, if you go back and look through those chapters, like you don't see a concerned, like Twice facial expression on Dabi a single time. You don't have dialogue.
Doesn't try to save Twice at all.
You don't have dialogue that implies that like he's upset.
He was there trying to save Twice.
No, he was there trying to fight with
Hawks. He was there trying to fight Hawks. He was there trying to fight Hawks.
One and the same in that situation.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
You should read enough manga to know those are not the same.
Come on, man. Those aren't the same thing. Listen. Yes, he is there. So like, if he was there to save Twice, then yes, he would have to fight Hawks. So yes, you can say that because he's fighting Hawks that he obviously cares about Twice, but the way that he acted in those moments, his dialogue was like, yo, you're killing my constituent. You know what I'm saying? You are, look at what you're doing. You're supposed to be a hero and you're killing people over here. He's not upset that Twice is dying. He's like, I gotcha, motherfucker. Yeah. You're a terrible hero. That's what it felt like in those scenes.
Like, I don't think him pointing out the hypocrisy in like the hero's logic takes away from how much he cares about his comrades.
If he showed any amount of compassion for him whatsoever, I would agree with you.
Shows the compassion.
Didn't he even use Twice as
he didn't give a fuck about Twice dying at all? Why would he be there?
Because he has beef with Hawks. He needs to be there because he has beef with Hawks. That's why he's fighting there.
And he used Twice as a fucking...
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
I'm pretty sure he threw fucking fire right towards fucking Twice and fucking Hawks at the same time and had total disregard for his safety and basically used it's psychological attack on fucking Hawks at the same time as like putting Twice in harm's way. He was already basically dead, and we're gonna fucking just put icing on the cake here by fucking making Twice, his life really even more in danger than it already was. He clearly didn't care. He shot fire like right through Twice.
He was using the fact that he knew Hawks would try and get Twice out of the way.
And you can make this argument, but if you go back and look through those chapters, there isn't any.
So he knew Twice wouldn't get hurt.
I know,
that goes against your point.
No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't. What if Hawks
said,
didn't save him?
I'm using the fact against you that in this fight you're going to try and protect Twice. I'm using that against you. So I'm going to throw this attack at both you. You're going to try and save him. That puts you at a detriment.
But what if they both die?
Yeah.
What if they both get hit with the fire and die?
Then
I think in that situation,
how much did he care about Twice?
That Hawks
no, he didn't know shit. He didn't know shit. It's a fight.
You're
How would he know?
assuming that.
Right. Well, okay, listen. This is the point, Eagle. This is the point. This is the point. If you go back through and look at those chapters, find me a panel of illustrated, visual, like storytelling that implies that externally Dabi is worried about Twice at all. Then
I don't think Dabi's the type of character that would show that.
Right.
And that's the point I'm going to make about this "who cares" dialogue.
No. Let me.
He's the type of dude who's run off and did his own thing just on wild, not with the plan shit several times. He doesn't give a fuck about Toga going and doing her own thing for a little bit.
So then what makes?
All. Who cares? She's going to do her own thing.
Right, but then what is the deciding?
We're all free to do whatever the fuck we want.
Right, but then what is the deciding aspect of Dabi's character that lets you think that he gives a fuck about any of these characters if the story has never shown him care and the dialogue has never implied that he's cared?
Stated specifically, actually, more than once that he does not care.
Right.
He has stated this.
You are just assuming that he does because he's there. When he can have ulterior, underhanded motives that give him reason for being there, him just being there and fighting these characters is not any amount of evidence that implies that he cares about these people. There has to be a line of dialogue. There has to be a facial expression. There has to be something that links your confident idea that Dabi actually does care about these characters. And I believe that your one tether is that he's there in the first place. That is not enough evidence to support that he cares about anyone by him just being there, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So now
there's been enough time where he could have let them either die or whatever without doing shit.
Yep.
Unless that's a part of his plan, unless he needs them. If he's using them, if there is a Dabi plan that has not been verbalized in the story in any kind of way,
which there is,
which we obviously have evidence to support that there is because of the situation with Hawks and because of how he's behaved throughout his character arc in this story, but like him just being there and like saving them from death, like doesn't really prove, like his actions and his dialogue contradict this idea that he cares about these characters, even though he's saved them from death, I guess technically, by not allowing them to die. But like that doesn't necessarily prove that he cares for them. If there was literally anything else that his character has done to show that he cares for these characters besides being there and fighting for them, I would 100% be on board with what you're saying right now.
Okay, but can we just either move on, or Eagle, if you got one more thing to say, I think you should say it, but I think we should move on for this.
Sure.
Okay.
So based on what you were saying, Kiko, moving on, right?
Yeah.
I think it's possible that that Dabi Hawks scene where they have the black speech bubble, right? And we're like, clearly you must be saying I'm Endeavor's kid, right?
Yeah.
What if he wasn't saying I'm Endeavor's kid, right? Like, what if he doesn't care to such an extent that he actually is, as you say, a third party? You know what I mean? And he was saying to Hawks like something along the lines of like, I'm a third party, like I work for these people. And I'm not even I'm not trying to help you. I'm not trying to help Twice. I'm not trying to do anything except for my goals. And so that's maybe why he seems so detached, because he does seem.
I think it's both. I think he did. I do think he said I'm Endeavor's son, or maybe he said I'm also a third party. But like, I totally believe he has his own will, his own goals, his own plan to become whatever, Shigaraki or whoever, to actually really be the one running shit. Which. I don't know how he really would.
All an Endeavor revenge plot, and his entire character arc ends with whatever culmination of this plot point comes from his encounter with Endeavor.
Very well could be true for sure.
I think he wants Shoto's body though, and he wants to do some shit to somehow figure out how something to figure out. And I don't, because this has always been the thing with me. It's like, how the fuck does Shoto even come along? And why don't we see more characters like this? I feel like him killing Endeavor, stealing Shoto, and having whatever Shoto's ice quirk transplanted to him would make him OP as fuck, right?
Or didn't you say last week that he would unlock ice somehow?
I was saying that.
Oh, it was Nick. Yeah, it was Nick. That's a gangster ass theory.
Yeah, bro. And I was saying Giten because he fought Giten already. Like had a lot of good supporting evidence that like why we could possibly think that. But
the idea there was because the genetic aspect, basically guarantees that, more or less guarantees that Dabi does have some of that ice power in his genes. Maybe he doesn't have dormant, it's recessive or something, you know what I mean? But maybe there's some way to activate it, Yeah.
But so that's the thing too, like that question, is a huge question, because it's like every single fucking hero, every person with a quirk has this then, because one of your quirks usually manifest for one of the parents, or sometimes it's a combination of the two, which that really it's really hard to like, you know, because it's like if Bakugo marries fucking, you know, Yaoyorozu, like how does exploding fucking you know, sweat glands and creation, like how do you mix
that?
Those
would probably
two
just
quirks
be a situation where they just don't do that for those two quirks and you just get one of them instead.
Yeah. Where but why? But like, we like
conceptually, you can think about how it could make sense if it needed to, but like, it doesn't need to. So it's like that's I've thought about that too. Like, I've just started combining quirks. You know what I mean? Like, you just start thinking about like what this quirk marriage would look like. And it's like there's some where it's like I literally cannot think of what the combination quirk would be. So in this situation, it's just if these two people had kids, the kid would get just one of the abilities then. Because if it's too hard to wrap your mind around, then Kohei's just never going to write that combination. But if he can make it make sense, then we'll probably see that combination, is the way I kind of like thought about it. But
I'll just say something that made me really happy is to see the League of Villains still punking Skeptic, though. All of them. Like, basically all of them. Like, shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Like, I liked it a lot. Like, they're still like, okay, Metal Liberation Army, like, you're on the team, but don't get crazy out here. Like, we're running shit. Calm down. Like, you're here to be on the computer and then know your role. Tell us whatever's coming out your computer. Yeah. And then that's you. That's what you get.
I love the little things Kohei does to remind us that these people are villainous. You know what I mean? Like, because it's very easy to forget sometimes in these moments, especially like when you have on page 7, you know, this conversation with Spinner and Toga. It's like if someone just never read this series before ever, you know what I'm saying, and just saw this one page, you know, they could probably mistake these people for main protagonists. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like
how in One Piece, you know, the pirates are good guys for you know a lot of the story. So it's like, oh, villains is villains good in this universe?
Yeah. But I just love these character moments that Kohei finds a way to fit in amidst all of these you know, all of this chaos. I feel like we get more you know, wholesome character moments on the villain side of things than we have like on the hero side of things. Almost this arc, you know what I mean? As far as like this League of Villain interaction, at least. But I mean, obviously you have Tokoyami and Hawks, but like that was more of like a look at what your mentor is really like, and Tokoyami just being like, I don't care, I'm going to save you in this moment anyway. So like that was a cool moment for like their relationship and their bonding, but like this is like different, you know what I mean? It's like it's like this is just another day in the life like moment, you know what I mean? It's not triggered by anything that's happening in the arc like the Hawks and Tokoyami scene was. It's like we're just getting wholesome moments between these characters that I feel like we don't, maybe because they're in a more confident and advantageous position to where they can have like moments like these, whereas the heroes are all like kind of like on their last leg, like desperately trying to like make the best out of the situation. So there's really only room for like strategical dialogue and like, you know, like shit like that. But all in all, I feel like I can confidently say that we've seen more wholesome interactions on the villain side of things than the hero side of things throughout this conflict, is basically the point I'm trying to make. But which is a cool thing if that's the case. It's really cool.
Yeah. And I'm sure we probably want to go into Ochako next, but I just have to say before we even do that, how do you fall for an 80-year-old woman? Like how do you fall for her? She's running fucking Mach speed away from you. Like she's running a 4.340. Like, how did you fall for that? Like, that's just like, and sure, you can always say maybe the old lady had a speed quirk. It's like she got into full like it's like if you're 80 years old, I don't care about your speed quirk. You know, like
you don't get into form like that. Unless you kind of like
say Gran Torino, but it's like Gran Torino's a hero that did this for his whole life, so that makes sense to why he's that way. Where it's like this is just some random civilian old lady, even if she's got a speed quirk, man, her hip's gonna pop out running that like that. Like it's
unless she's old in every way besides cardiovascular like capability of like
frantically trying to just do whatever she
can. She can probably like you could probably make the argument that because she's had a speed quirk the whole time that she's if there's anything that she's confident about in her life despite her age, it's her ability to be in form and look like she really has this quirk, you know what I mean? But
I'm way less focused on this old lady. I'm more
about the old lady.
more on Ochako. She is just really invested in helping everyone she can. This lady wants help. She's like, yes, I'm gonna help you. And so she's naive. She's naive.
Yeah,
she's
naivety.
young.
Yeah.
She's in
the
school.
situation is like absolute disaster. The city is being torn apart. There's people dying everywhere. She's like, no matter what the fuck, you need help.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Yeah,
like,
that's
let's
exactly it. Yeah.
Yes, from the reader's perspective, obviously it's Toga. Like you definitely super know it's Toga. Like you never once think that this old lady is anything but Toga. But yeah, I think it's not crazy for Ochako to be tricked here.
You know, just out of the hunter camp, it's like, you know, like you just no hunter would have ever fell for this. And it's like, and I get it that
not everything is hunter, man.
I know everything's not hunter, but it's just like man,
once you have that level of logic and deductive reasoning in your main characters. She's already
fought Toga. She knows Toga's abilities. Like it's like you should be.
But it's been a long time.
Toga's ability person you meet in life ever.
It's been a long time. It's a very high stress, high octane situation where you have a lot to think about.
Those are all fine.
So those are factors that kind of play into it. But
on paper, I wouldn't have got hero, like in the middle of a disaster, when somebody runs up asking you for help, you can't be like, bitch, are you Toga?
Obviously not. Obviously not.
Like
but you could be suspicious of somebody's motives when it's an 80-year-old woman running a 340 down a fucking super vacant fucking dark alley into a fucking destitute building. It's like
save lives. Man.
Listen, Eagle. This is what makes it better. If we get one fucking dialogue bubble that has Ochako going, this seems sus, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm a hero, and if this person does need to be saved, I'm going to go save them.
Yes, I would have liked that.
If we got one dialogue bubble that just like showed her experience with Toga and her experience as a hero, going like, this kind of seems weird.
As a hero. Yeah, she has experience as a hero. Like she has a lot of experience as a hero.
I'm not saying she doesn't.
Her character.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she doesn't. But you can't have every single character who's ever interacted with Toga need a dialogue or a thought bubble every single time they meet a stranger saying, "Oh, but is this Toga?"
No. Not saying that the dialogue bubble needs to say this could be Toga. But the dialogue bubble just saying, like, we already have the dialogue bubble saying here, like, no, this lady's moving a little bit too quick. Well,
Isn't that enough then?
Well, no, because this implies naivety on behalf of.
She is naive. She's
right. No. She is naive, so you could play it off on that. But also, her experience with Toga could allow another dialogue bubble that goes, I've been tricked by people before. This is a very weird. Yeah, this is a very weird situation amidst all of this chaos. But like,
Shoto would have fell for that. You think all these characters, the top tier characters would fall for this? But
I think literally every single hero would fall for this.
Well, hey, you want to know
because
what?
they're trying to evacuate someone.
I understand,
and there's not much time. Like Gigantomachi is coming right now, and she's
listen,
like,
bro, there's definitely evidence. There's evidence to support.
There is a brief moment of apprehension to me.
Yeah.
In this panel, right above the panel where she says he'll be okay because I'm going to save him, because she says those legs of yours sure can move, ma'am.
Yeah.
The strength of my legs are thanks to Takayo's love, and she kind of goes,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's totally fine. This is
but then she's like, he'll be okay because I'm about to save his ass, because that's like the situation. Like you really don't got time to think about that kind of shit. You need to act, save.
That's
building chunks getting tossed every direction, people getting crushed.
Yes.
For every person she saves,
I agree.
30 are probably
I
dying.
agree. I agree that because the situation is so dire that you would maybe not, question some things that you should be. I wouldn't call that naivety then. I would call that something different, because naivety makes it sound like she's just a bad hero at this point and doesn't understand that she's facing villains. Like, yes, how do you not understand you're facing villains and they're going to use these types of tactics against you?
Right.
But she's already fought all of them. She's already fought all of them. That's the point of UA. That's why they have this growth, is because they keep putting in these situations. So if you keep getting put in bad situations.
All right, check it out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, check it out, bro.
That's the report.
There is evidence to support both outlooks on this scene, right?
Yes, there is.
No one is saying that all of the evidence is on one side. I was just saying that, like, considering what we understand about Ochako's character and the events in the story up until this point, it would make it feel better in the scene for me and Kiko, clearly, if we got an extra dialogue bubble that says, I don't know if I should be trusting this situation, but I'm going to anyway, because I don't know for sure if this is a trick, or there's way more evidence to support that this lady, that she should just trust this lady, because there's no villains around in this area right now. This is literally an evacuation. Like if this was combat, then it's a completely different situation. But this is rescue, evacuation. There's just less of a reason to be thinking that you could be being tricked right now.
Yeah.
So,
and I got another question, and it all pertains to really this whole thing anyway that we're going to talk about regardless.
Yeah.
Does this Ochako moment feel shoehorned in? Like, does it feel like people were criticizing Horikoshi for putting Ochako on the back burner for literally 150 chapters? You know, and like, man, obviously we got to fit this in here. And I'm not saying like it was shoehorned is such a strong. I shouldn't use that.
Shoehorn
term,
is pretty strong.
I feel like it's just. This doesn't seem that well planned out to me too, especially now that Toga is so broken. Like, how is fucking Ochako really, unless she evolves her quirk this now, Toga is fucking top 3 broken characters in the story now after her fucking awakening. Yeah. So she's top 3 best, strongest fucking quirks in the fucking story. So it's like, it really seems unreasonable, but so you could jump in. Like, oh, we ain't seen fucking Ochako for a while, and it becomes a 2v1, which will make it a little bit better for me. But I just, like, gunhead martial arts ain't getting you out of this time. And that's all she really has. Like,
especially when you only have, like, 1 semester of, like, experience with that training anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, 1 semester of gunhead martial arts shouldn't take you where you need to be in a confrontation like this. Yeah.
And just like, you have to be in this mindset with any manga that you read, is that, okay, we're going to expand upon this, and this, you know, my questions will be answered, you know, and I don't have to say that right now this is terrible, because I don't want to say it's terrible. I want to say it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make all the sense. And maybe it will in the way that, you know, other hero, and we're seeing this now. I mean, it could be more than just Suyu coming in, because honestly, I don't see how Suyu and fucking, you know, Ochako beat Toga either. When she just turns into Twice and just starts beating the fuck out of you with fucking 500 fucking people, then what? You know, like,
I think we'll probably get a scene similar to that. I think we'll see Toga use Twice's quirk here in this fight with Ochako. You know what I mean? I think this
I agree.
I don't think that we have any reason to think that Ochako is going to be like wildly, you know, advantageous in this confrontation based on what we have here right now. I feel like there's plenty of room for this to go like horribly wrong for Ochako and be a good moment of development for her character.
But do you think she's going to 1v1 Toga and win in this situation?
No, hell, I mean, I don't think so. Personally, I don't think that we have enough evidence to support that she should be able to do something like that right now.
Yes.
But
that's okay.
Like,
that's really...
In terms of the
I'd like to see.
If it can be explained well, then I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if she uses Aladdin's propulsion magic and pushes her into outer space with her fucking Uravity evolves and she gets pushed out outer space, there you go, great. Then she could win. Without something like that, it just doesn't seem like she can
mixed with gravitational manipulation can be pretty fucking devastating.
It's a big deal in a 1v1 situation.
She has better mastery of her.
How when you're fighting 500 Twices?
Right.
Who are you slamming?
Right. If
Toga has Twices, then yes. Now I will
she
say
does, for sure.
Right, but are we going to see that?
Can she use it to the capacity that Twice can, though?
Right. Like
those are all questions that are not answered. You can't just assume that she can bust out everybody's quirk to the maximum capacity that they can.
And I guess another thing, maybe I just forgot. So she 100% definitively has Twice's quirk, like guaranteed. Like we saw her.
We already saw her use it. Yeah, we already saw her use the quirk. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we already saw her
use so much I pay attention.
But like, will she use like Sad Man's Parade or some shit?
Yeah, she's probably can't use Sad Man's Parade because that's an evolved form of Twice's quirk. So maybe she only uses 10 Twices. Like Twice could do back, like he could do that before he evolved. You know, or you turn into Twice and then turn into fucking Deku.
Yeah. But
she can't use his. But anyway, so before, in terms of
correct me if I'm wrong, but before he evolved, he wouldn't even duplicate himself.
He could do it once, I thought.
He wouldn't.
At least once, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think maybe
he wouldn't
because
of mental
damage.
Yeah, because they attacked each other.
Yeah.
Well, because I think when he duplicates himself, the other clones try to kill him and take over as the one who's actually the original form.
Yeah.
That was the initial thing, is that to make his life easier, he cloned himself a bunch of times. He had one going to work, one going to school, one at home playing video games, whatever the fuck. He sent out one to go shopping. Yeah. Eventually, they all fucking started attacking each other, killing each other, and now he doesn't know if he's the real one or not. That's why he was so afraid to clone himself and take damage.
Right.
Yeah, because he thought that he would just evaporate. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So why would that prevent Toga from using the ability?
I just don't think that she has the maximum. Like, I don't think she can use people's quirk to the threshold that they can.
Yeah. No, I believe that too.
That's fine. Yeah.
Now
she probably gets a base version of their shit.
Yeah.
Maybe not base, but like not.
It's like not the same.
I don't think she's doing Prominence Burn if she gets Endeavor's quirk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of the shoehorned in aspect of the scene, I'm happy you brought it up because my intuition also was that it felt off anyway. Like the whole series of events, right? They're on Gigantomachia, satellite image of where Uraraka is, right? Why does Toga know how to get to her? You know what I mean? It's just a satellite image. Like if you see a picture of Google Maps, you're gonna know how to get there immediately. Yeah. So she just jumps off. Gigantomachia is moving at 100 kilometers an hour, and I guess we must assume that Gigantomachia has already run by the neighborhood, right? Because clearly Toga can't run ahead and do all this scene before Gigantomachia gets there.
Yeah.
So I guess I was a little confused as to like the how quick we needed to do all this stuff because I thought like, oh, Gigantomachia is coming right now, and if he comes through this neighborhood, this old dude's gonna die. And so I thought Gigantomachia wasn't through the neighborhood yet, but he must already be through the neighborhood because we've already got a rock that hits Tsuyu, and Toga's already here. And so like, okay, and then Toga's like, Toga's here.
So Gigantomachia is ahead. Toga jumped off the back, came up to meet Ochako. Yeah.
Right. But all these things together did come off to me as like, I mean, that's a little contrived, but it's good enough. I guess it's fine.
Yeah, sure. I think the thing you brought up about how she found her is the one thing that's like, that seems a little like pushed. But I think the one thing that makes this make sense for me is like Toga's character. The fact that she, in seeing Ochako, would definitely want to bolt over there and find her and fuck with her.
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. But yeah, you brought up, how did she like go right to her? Maybe I guess I would chalk that up to maybe just like an innate like sense.
Yeah.
But that seems
or like the heroes are maybe like
that she has
yelling
blood.
Yeah.
Or the heroes are yelling. The heroes are like, hey,
Yeah.
do you need help? Yeah. I'm here to help you. And Toga's like, oh, I hear her. I know what she sounds like.
What Eagle was gonna say. I like what Eagle was gonna say.
You think she has some sort of blood radar?
But then why wouldn't she just be able to do it anyway?
Yeah,
right.
It could be a situation. It could be a situation where she saw the star light up on the thing, just like assumed that it was Ochako, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then just like instantly was just like, if it is, I should jump off right now. And then it took a little bit of time for her to find her, and the rest of the scene that was going on.
Or you could say like she's an impulsive character, right? So like maybe she does sense these, people around her that she's taking their blood. She doesn't really give a fuck, but then she sees Ochako and she's impulsive as fuck. She's like, "Oh shit!"
Okay,
but
and can't like hold herself back at that point. But I don't know the blood radar thing.
But what Nick is saying, go look at Google Maps, right? Go look at Google, or not even Google Maps, Google Earth. Because it's a satellite image. Go look at Google Earth, and then just look at a fucking square on Google Earth and tell me you know how to get there once you jump off the back of anything, especially a moving target. So like, it's really hard. So that's why I was thinking, because remember I was talking about this last week about Toga. Because of quirks fucking keeping consciousness and memories when they're moved. And what does that mean for Toga? Somebody who can now steal quirks, right? Like, it's huge that she would be able to fucking actually home in on somebody she has the blood of and whose consciousness of their quirk is inside of them. Maybe it's a connection, some deep connection that she could feel some kind of homing beacon to people that she already has their blood ingested.
Like really like a dialogue bubble where she said, I know where she is because I'm just kidding.
No. That would make it feel a lot better if we got a bubble that literally said like.
No, we could still get those.
We can still get those. We can still get those. But I mean, like in this moment right now with this chapter, just things that would make the situation feel better before we get that future exposition that we can assume that we're going to get. It's just things, pieces of information that we don't have right now that we think would be good for our understanding of what's going on if we had them. That's literally.
Well, if this is a thing, this is obviously our headcanon here, this blood radar thing, but like, if it is a thing, maybe it's something she doesn't like completely even understand herself yet.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It's instinctual for now. Yeah.
It's instinctual. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up, moving ahead if people are cool with it or whatever.
Definitely.
To more to this conversation between Toga and Ochako. The last page of the chapter, I thought this dialogue between them was actually pretty good. And this question of Ochako, right? You mean you stole that old lady's blood, killed her, just to ask me a question like that? And what the question she asked was, what do you want to do to me or whatever? Anyway, and Toga has this panel on the last page, you know, like just to?
Yeah.
And how I took this anyway is that Ochako, from her perspective, she's saying like, why did you do such a trivial thing? You know what I mean? Like to talk to me, you killed all these people, you did all this bad stuff, right? And Toga seems very taken aback. Like, what do you mean? And I feel to me, I feel like Toga views it in the exact opposite way, where she's like, I wanted to talk to you so bad that I killed someone.
Yeah, which is like innocuous to Toga, because all she fucking does is fucking kill people all the fucking time.
Yeah.
This isn't even that big of a deal, me trying to like do all of this to get to you. Like,
I think maybe she was saying it is a big deal. I wanted to talk to you really bad.
That's the big deal. But like killing the ladies, like taking her blood, killing her just to do it is probably just like, that's not a big deal to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Toga. You know what I mean? But yes, the reasoning is a big deal why she wants to see her. Yeah,
another reason that I did really like this whole last, you know, dialogue, and I agree with all that, but you know, the flashback on her holding Night Eye. Well, Night Eye's dying in her arms, and she's trying to get Night Eye to the hospital. Like, obviously, that's going to resonate with her, and she's going to keep this with her forever. So, like, like, it's, you know, if we just had that a little earlier in the chapter, like, and really hammered home, like, I'm going to do whatever I can to save whatever people. And I know she said that, but like, I wish when she said it the first time to chase the old lady that she thought of Night Eye and, you know, maybe question it, or maybe you could see something on her face that question it, but it's like, no, I let Night Eye die, or she's at least feeling like some responsibility for Night Eye's situation, that she's like, okay, I can't take any chances. Like, I don't give a fuck, even if I am possibly throwing myself into an extremely dangerous situation. And I just wanted just a little bit more for that thing, like just that thing.
Would have made it way better.
It would have felt right to me, and maybe less shoe, because it's God. I don't want to keep saying shoehorn, because like that's implying
feels convenient.
Convenient, because I just want to say, like, I don't want to imply here that Horikoshi doesn't have any of this planned, and he's just listening to fucking, you know, people on the internet say, why the fuck isn't Ochako in your story as much as she should be? You know, like, she isn't doing, like, you ain't doing it like Nobara for you know, what Gege is doing with Nobara and whatever, just things like that. Obviously, he's not taking that into account. But just, I'm sure you're right. And I do know mangaka do take those things into account into Japan, like popularity polls and stuff like that. They do. So, I mean, my example might be going too far. People on the internet, you know, like, because that's probably going too far.
Probably the main thing that they got to listen to is like popularity polls, because then your editors in your fucking room, like, hey, you know that Ochako got like this score on this last popularity poll. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do about that? You know what I mean? Like,
you're not doing the female characters properly.
You have conversations like that happen, but I mean, like, if it's not like hard data, like, you know, in like ways that they like specifically collect. Then like random motherfuckers on the internet complaining about things probably not going to, but like once you start seeing that in like measurable statistics that you normally take, then it's a different situation.
Definitely. So,
but I feel like I had like a major thing that I wanted to say, and I just never had a chance.
We did a lot of craziness, and
this was a lot. But you want to know what? It was good. It was good. I feel like the conversation was good, but like there's like one thing that I like had that I was like, I'm gonna throw it out there at this point. And then like right as I was about to go, and like the conversation like shifted. I was like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna wait till the next opening. And then like I feel like 3 different times I tried to shoot it in. Now I can't think of it, but whatever. It'll be a good conversation for one shots in the future.
Yeah, we got a hero one shot this week, guys. Pull up Wednesday. You know, I mean, we're gonna be talking about some other stuff, but we can, you know, whatever hero stuff might come to mind.
Conversation goes. It'll be live, baby.
Yes, this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Project Manga Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Project Manga. Our next one shots episode will be My Hero Academia related. So
do
not miss that.
I get one little tiny more thing I want to say. I really, really need Compress to do something. I don't want him to be a fucking walking inventory slot for the rest of the fucking story. Please get my man Compress in here. I love Compress. He's like my favorite.
Yes.
Like other than Twice winning me over eventually because Twice's character was so great, well written.
But on paper, Compress was like
Twice is the best character in Hero to me now. But like, well, and he's gone now. But like for his time, like his stretch of time, I feel like is the greatest part of Hero to me personally. But Compress from the beginning, when I saw Compress, I'm like, this is my guy. He's putting shit in it. Man, I was like, Compress is about to be my favorite character.
Character design, dialogue, ability, all on point.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, we can't be putting Compress on the back
like toss rocks at people and shit.
I mean, that's what we've seen him do, but like his personality his personality is like really fucking interesting. He's got an amazing character design.
That's all you can have him do, though, is my point. Like, because
we could pull out anything. He could pull out toxic waste and throw toxic waste all over you. Whatever he compresses and holds in his fucking inventory. He is
throw stuff, right? Like,
but like
strategic ability.
He's Link's bag. He's Link's bag. He's this big, but he's putting every fucking inventory item possible into a bag this small. You know, like he can pull out any fucking thing.
When you have a
so you ain't want him to be an inventory slot.
Right.
I don't want
you
him
don't want
to
him to just be that. He doesn't want him to just be that.
Toga's like, give me my shit. And he's like, okay, boom, here's your shit. Now you go do what you want. You know, but like, is everybody just going to be constantly looking at fucking Compress to give them what they need to do the job? And he's basically just sitting back.
You're a living utility belt for our entire outfit.
I need Compress to put in some work. And he's not yet in the situation.
That's definitely like his role. Like that's his like position. Like he does things like that, but but Kiko is saying he doesn't
have to be it.
He doesn't want him to be relegated
to
just
you can't really
that.
have him fighting anybody too main because his ability is serious in like close one-on-one combat where he's taking limbs and shit.
Yeah. Or he could have items of his own for combat. Chisaki. Or he can have items of his own that he has like for whenever he needs to go into like, I mean, obviously he's a walking inventory, but like Compress himself has to know, and he has known before he joined this League of Villains that he has 1v1 confrontations of his own, and he needs to be a capable person in those situations. So he's got his own way to fight.
I'm saying I don't think we're going to see him fight anybody really too important.
It doesn't matter how important they are. We just want to see him activate. We just want to see him. We just want to see him do something against anyone, regardless of their status. We want to see an actual full power, like Twice confrontation, regardless of what level that's at.
I would have to assume that all League of Villains members will evolve their quirk and become more capable. We need Spinner to do anything. So like Spinner's definitely not going to be a gecko stuck to the wall for the rest of the series. He's definitely going to fucking, jump out invisibility or something and cut people, whatever. I don't know. But like Spinner is going to evolve his quirk. Like it's not just going to be Toga, Twice, and Shigaraki, right? Like that's kind of what we were talking about last week too with Dabi, his fucking
potential activate. Evolution or whatever.
Evolution, exactly. So like Compress, all League of Villains members are about to have a serious fight.
At some point, for sure. 1v1. They will be in a very intense 1v1 confrontation.
Regardless of Compress is killing whoever he fights, though.
It depends on how it's written.
I
mean, that would be tight.
They ask, but that's my point. It's not going to be nobody too serious, I don't think.
Yeah, well,
okay. That's what we missed with what you're saying is that you think Compress's ability is really strong, and
that's
that
what I said. His ability is serious, where he's like taking limbs and doing serious.
I missed that part.
He's compressing your shit.
Yeah,
and I missed that.
So
part.
all we're probably going to see him do is like rah, rah.
Sure.
Okay.
So you're saying he gets the Nico Robin. He gets the Nico Robin treatment. Her power's too OP. She never gets a good fight.
I bet you Compress has like items that he uses for his own personal combat that he keeps on his utility belt compressed. Like I feel like he has like an arsenal of weapons that isn't just throwing like rocks and debris or handing someone their clothes, like
or acid or whatever.
He's got a menagerie of 1v1. Yeah, he's got. I think that's the way you say it. But he's got a gallery of different abilities or different items, or weapons that he uses when he himself personally needs to turn up in a 1v1 situation.
So here's my thought, right? Like, what happens when you compress this shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, does time stop for the item in the compressing? Like, what if he has a boatload of grenades and he pulls all the pins and he compresses all the grenades and just like they're all frozen in time, about to blow up in 1 second, and he's like, uncompress,
bam.
Oh,
like all these grenades.
Shit.
Well,
I forget if he can compress people.
I would ask if you guys remember when he compressed the Sand Hero.
Oh, he can compress people?
Did they say that? I thought maybe he showed. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I think they said he was just dead once he got compressed. That the Sand Hero was just dead.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't remember that either. That's hilarious.
But yeah, hit us in the comments if you remember this.
Comment section. Yeah. Remind us.
Tell us how you think compress would do.
Maybe showed him in the bubble like rah, 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 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, and
if we got that scene, that's funny as hell.
Compress's quirk is fucking Yami Yami no Mi, right? Like it's liberation. He's gonna fucking drop a big city of fucking death on you. Like he could drop a whole fucking bunch of skyscrapers on you, possibly. Like who knows? Like he's a type.
Especially once he awakens. I love his quirk. Yeah,
exactly. Like I need me some compress, man. My favorite. Like
hell yeah.
You know, I need him to eclipse twice now, so I can because twice was just so good. Like. Twice it's gonna be hard to do.
Is gonna be very
after, it's character driven wise. That's why
we don't really feel it. Like we felt it when he died in this arc, but like I feel like we won't really feel the Twice death until after this arc. Like after some time has passed, and then we go into the next conflict that we have with these League of Villains. Twice isn't there. I feel like that's when we'll really be like, damn, bro, Twice is dead as fuck. Like I'm still mad about like that, like thinking about it in the scene, but like. The story continuing without him after this arc is going to probably be when I'm like, damn, bro. Yeah. But that's all I had to say on
that's all I had.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man. Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and jump right into the piece de resistance. As you know, chapter 992 of Remnants.
Why do I feel like I know it's because of the breaks, but like I feel like it's taking so long to close out this last 10 chapters before 1,000. Like I feel like a month ago were saying only 10 chapters left. You know what I mean? And that's just so weird that we're only 2 chapters.
When Eagle said 992, I said no, it's 993. You gotta be kidding me. And I pulled up and like, what? 992? No.
Yeah.
Beautiful color spread.
This color fucking spread is so
C Train, baby. Let's go back to the C Train.
I love that.
Yeah. Especially since like Brooke and Jinbei, have nothing to do with the C Train. Now they get to. Yay, you're back.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking
So how about this Big Mom, Perospero, Marco dialogue, huh?
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Like I think it's interesting because on the one hand, Mama's, or Big Mom, sorry, is like, like I know the shit. I'm trying to be the Pirate King. Like, you don't trust me. And Perospero's face, obviously they don't trust her, right? Obviously distrust. And the first time I read this chapter, when at the bottom panel, Marco was like, oh, well, it looks like we're not gonna work together to beat Kaido, right? And then they have this. I love this dialogue of Marco saying like, "Oh, we're all free, baby. Like Whitebeard's not around. Like we're doing our things we want to."
Yeah.
Now the big panel for me is when Big Mom is saying, "That's right. Dead men give no orders. Do as you will." Do you think she is saying, "Do what you want. I am super pissed off at you," or is she saying, "Do what you want. Yeah, let's team up and kill Kaido"?
I think it's neither. I think it's just like obviously you can't live under the will of somebody who's dead anymore, like we're not bound by Pop's will anymore, which is there's a bigger point I'm going to make, but I'll wait for now. But so yeah, I just think that it's like, do your thing, basically. Like, obviously, you got to go do whatever's best for you. And whether you're with us or against us, which obviously you're not with us. So, like, I assume you're against us, but not like directly opposing us. You're just another, party out there in the world doing whatever, like, don't fucking be constricted to somebody who's not even alive anymore. Just, do what you need to do out here in the world.
I'm not so much focusing on that. I'm focusing on like literally Marco and Perospero were like, we're gonna team up and go against Kaido, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Perospero doesn't like the Big Mom Kaido alliance. And Parasparrow, apparently before this chapter, off screen, has like talked with Big Mom about this. Like, why are you joining with Kaido, right? Like, you're supposed to be your own woman, your own pirate crew, right? And then she agrees. She says, yes, I am trying to be the Pirate King. Then says two things. Dead men give no orders. Like, a dead Kaido won't be able to tell me anything what to do. And two, do what you will, which is you already have been planning to kill Kaido. I'm in.
Yeah.
And then the panel is like dark, shadowy, go, menacing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It very well could be that she's just like pissed off or just like says like, yeah, I don't care what you do. But it almost seems like she's buying into Parasparrow and Marco's alliance.
Yeah. I just attributed it to just like her being like Big Mom seems to always like kind of like represent for me the like chaotic side and like understanding and experience of the pirate world. You know what I'm saying? Like anything can happen at any time, and I'm ready for any moment, regardless of what my will and what I expect to happen and whether it goes the way that I'm expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, I want things to happen certain ways, but I'm here for the chaos too, bro. Like, this is pirate shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, Kaido dies. I could figure out what to do in that situation. Kaido doesn't die. I could figure out what to do in that situation. It's not so much why aren't things going my way. It's I'm interested to see how out of my way they go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to watch. Like, this is the pirate shit I signed up for. Like, ooh, this is very interesting. Like, what are you gonna do, Marco? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the sea we're on. You know, in the new world at that. Like, this is gonna get really interesting. Like, it feels like it's just interested to see how the chaos plays out. Was the way that I originally took this panel of Big Mom looking like super excited but sinister at the same time. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, I just kind of always represent or think of her as like she represents death, right? Because you have to give her your life in order to, for her power for her to amass more power and just to obviously live in her. So it's just like, I don't know, just the dead thing is just exciting to her. Death is exciting to her. Like, like that's just what I took it as, like this is, you got it.
Yeah.
Did you want to bring up your point you were talking about earlier, or it was related to Big Mom?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's related to the whole entire chapter, even the name, the chapter Remnants, right? Like, so this whole chapter, the theme is inherited will and who has it and who doesn't. The whole entire thing, right from the beginning. Because right away, you get to see the subservience of Big Mom's children to her. They do not inherit her will. They are under her thumb. Yeah. Similar to Kaido. Kaido's crew is not under his thumb. It's a meritocracy. So it's like they don't inherit his will either. You just want to be the best and keep going. And so like everything is inherited will all the way down to, okay, you see fucking Carrot. Where are you going? To avenge Pedro. I know who I saw. She isn't inheriting Pedro's will. Like and we have the fucking, obviously the scabbards at the end using Odin's fucking attack. That is literally a physical representation of them inheriting his will. Yeah. Everything, this whole entire chapter, every single thing about it is all representative of the overarching plot theme, one of them, of One Piece. Inherited will. And so just same thing with, again, I forgot about Marco. Marco's basically saying like, hey, obviously we've inherited Pop's will, but we can't really enact on his will anymore because it really like we can't act on his his direction. Now we all have to have our own direction. Because that came with a huge
faction of organized and coordinated pirates, and we just don't have that figurehead anymore. So we're just not the Whitebeard pirates that we used to be. So we can't do it exactly how Pops would have, but we still have him inside of us. Yeah.
And inheriting his will doesn't mean carrying out whatever his goal was, which all his goal was is to have a family anyway. Like, and he already achieved his goal. His goal was achieved a long fucking time ago. So it's like inheriting his will is them being free and doing whatever the hell they want. And that's how real pirates look at things. You would assume Whitebeard as the same philosophy, roughly, as Luffy. The freest one on the sea is really the Pirate King, even though it's not like verbalized in that way. Whitebeard's like, I'm free on the sea. I'm free to have my family. Like, I'm going to bring in my family. And that means, because like Whitebeard, his territory included the Fishman Island, right? And like, I fully believe that Whitebeard, even territories that he conquered or controlled, like it wasn't like that. Like he let them have their freedom and he was not a fucking tyrant ruler of any way. And it's like, those were all his family as well. Like, so it just all ties back though to
Love it.
Marco. Marco is inheriting his will. He is acting on his will, even if Big Mom is kind of talking down a little bit to him,
right,
you know, in this way. So it's literally every single character just about like, and I was even thinking like, how is Black Maria tied into this too? Because like Black Maria loves Kaido, you know, like what is she singing about here? Like, is this supposed to be like the two that are going to join together under the fucking moonlight or what, under the moon? Is that her and Kaido? Is it Momonosuke and Hiyori? Like who are we talking about here? Like, cause in Momonosuke and Hiyori like fit with me as inherited will. Like if they meet, like they are inheriting Odin's will as well, and you know, in a lot different way than the Scabbards are. You know, like they don't have the same history with Odin like the Scabbards do to enact it in the same way, but they get it, you know, by default of being the children and maybe what they learn from here on out. But Hiyori coming here, I don't think Hiyori is coming here, is she? You know? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say whether or not Hiyori is actually going to come to Onigashima. Like, you would feel like she has to, though, right? Like, I mean, I guess she doesn't necessarily have to, but I don't
Maybe
know.
not as like a combatant, obviously.
Yeah,
but
not
like,
a combatant.
Like have some kind of role amidst the chaos in some kind of non-combative way. That's significant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just trying to like tie Black Maria's song into this inherited will theme in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
And like when you said that, when I read the chapter initially, I kind of wrote off her song as kind of being just like pretty, or you know
arbitrary.
what I mean? But arbitrary.
It's got the moon in it, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so now what I wonder is when she says when she sings two who wish to be united but could never be together at last will meet beneath the light of the moon. I wonder if she actually means Odin and Kaido, and with your inherited will point, Kaido is facing Odin through the inherited will of the Scabbards.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. It's just, I thought immediately of Momo and Hiyori first, you know, just because like they have not been united basically.
Yeah.
I mean, ever. I mean, they were when they were really, really little, I guess, but like, yeah. So yeah, who knows? I just think that anytime the moon is mentioned in One Piece, it's time to start looking deeper.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Open up them peepers. Find the connections.
Like Nox and Eagle are always saying, huh, Kiko?
You know how we the moon guys, man. Come on,
They talk about the Bilkins all the time, even though they don't even know who they are.
I thought it was Automatus.
Automatus too, yeah.
No, I'm talking about
the Automatus,
the drunk One Piece episode.
Yeah,
and you were like, it's the Bilkins. And it was the Automatus crying.
So how about this?
I love these
7-8 spread. The 7-8 spread.
Listen, bro, like let me tell you something, man. This 7-8 spread is like one of the most hype moments in the entire arc for me. And I know that we've kind of like had this moment kind of like given to us in like 3 different times now at this point, where they're all stanced up in unison attacking Kaido together. But like, I don't know why, like just the way that these panels are structured in this one. Yeah. It just it hits so much harder in these. Plus, we're getting like special attacks from them individually. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that's a way bigger deal. And Kawamatsu, River of Sea, Crimson at Dance, Scourge, bro. Like this is what we wanted. And like, man, and it's so crazy to think about how like there are YouTubers out there who you know, are doing videos for like the review and discussion of this chapter, and all they're talking about is like how the power levels don't make sense. And it's like, we are talking about like the story at large, the characters involved. Like our review is literally going through this entire chapter and like history of the story involved, just like gushing about how amazing of a writer what like Oda is and how amazing One Piece is. And like there's some YouTubers who are literally just like, how come these Scabbards are doing so much damage to Kaido? And that's like their whole review. It's just like, it's so
embarrassing,
sad, dude.
Yeah,
it's just like, dude, there's so much going on in this besides power scaling. And
didn't Luffy just elephant gun fucking this form of Kaido into the ground? It's like, this is Kaido's weakest form. This is all Zoan's weakest form, is their full animal form. So it's like, what are you guys talking about? That doesn't make any sense, especially when it's like, obviously they have Ryuo. It's been stated many, many times. And you know,
very much
been stated many times how strong
these
fucking characters are. It's like Ashura Doji 1v1 Jack in the beginning of the fucking arc, and all all of these scabbards are relative to him in strength. So like, why is this confusing to you right now? You know what I mean? Like these are wildly capable characters, and we have been like, that's been rehashed multiple times in the series. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Oda is not going to give Kaido and these scabbards a 20 plus year beef and not have them turn the fuck up on Kaido at any point in time during the fight. They're obviously going to hurt him and damage him and feel like this 20-year feud has been fruitful to some degree. Obviously Kaido's going to take these fucking hits in his weakest form, and then he's gonna fucking activate on these dudes, bro. Like, this is like, it's obvious. Like you like, there's this like some reviewers and some YouTubers just take these week to week occurrences like so literally. And it's like, there are things after this and before this that have to do with this present scene. It's not just the story didn't exist before this and doesn't exist after this, and this shit doesn't make fucking sense. Like, it's, I don't know.
I just, what other Zoan uses their full animal form and wins a fight?
Yeah.
Which one? Like it doesn't happen, and they don't use it, and they don't even use their fucking animal forms 9 out of 10 times. Like, okay, the dinosaurs are doing it because that's cool, you know, and it makes a little bit of sense why they would do it. But it's like Lucci turns into the fucking cheetah for 1 second to jump and bite Luffy on the shoulder, and then turns back into a human immediately. Or the hybrid form. It's like they don't use that form. That's not for combat, and obviously it makes sense that Kaido's big ass dragon form. Sure, it could be tight, and he's going to be able to use it this way. But it's like, Luffy punched his fucking head into the ground when he was a fucking dragon. And sure, he could be drunk. You could say he was drunk too. Okay, there's that. But once he fucking turned into regular fucking full human, or just human form, or whatever you're going to call it for Kaido, because that's still up in the air. But as soon as he one-shots Luffy and smacks him to fucking Jupiter. It's like, as soon as fucking Kaido turns into fucking Oni form, human form, whatever the fuck, he'll just
he's a way bigger deal than he is in this form.
And does it make any sense? We've talked about this a million times. Like, does it really make sense for Luffy to beat a full-powered Kaido 1v1? I don't think so. This is how they're weakening him up. They're softening him for Luffy to actually be able to make a fucking fight here that's going to make sense, because he shouldn't beat a Yonko. I don't think at this stage of the game, no matter even if he has honed his Ryuo and trained and he was lifting blocks with Kairoseki in fucking prison, he did train. He is stronger than when he originally fought Kaido, so it will make sense that he's able to beat Kaido now. But it's too.
That's why you have so many characters that have motivations that coincide with the taking down of Kaido, is so that you can have them come in, butter him up for the final conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so many characters that want to see Kaido dead. They got to all get their licks in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people do not fuck with this dude. They all got to hit him once. You know what I'm saying? And all of those little paper cuts add up to damage that makes sense for the people who are actually going to take him down to do so, given his like status in the series as being this invincible, impregnable, undefeatable character. It's like, okay, it makes sense now that we've seen him take literally a million tiny paper cuts leading up to his defeat. So it's like, this is how you fucking do this. You don't just go, everyone is ineffective until Luffy shows up. Like, what? Like, that's just not where Luffy's character needs to be at this point in the series. That's not what One Piece is about, is raw 1v1 strength and confrontations. Like, this is a story being told here, not a fucking, I don't fucking know. It's not a tournament arc, man.
This isn't battle shonen only. There's other things being like happening here. We're not tournament arc. That's the best way to put it, because it's just like, this isn't going to be 1v1 fights forever and ever all the time. It's like, this is how One Piece works.
I feel like that's what people read One Piece for nowadays, is so that they can, get 1v1 feats that, they can use to.
Well,
that's a sad life, because that's fucking 7% of this entire fucking story. It's like 7%. I don't know. Obviously, I'm throwing a number out, but it's like literally, I bet I'm pretty close. I don't know, maybe 12% of the entire story is fucking 1v1 battles of strength. Like, this is, there's so many other things that this story has that's
just a strength hierarchy. Like, if you've been reading the series for 1,000 chapters, you should.
You're reading it wrong.
Yeah, but
well, how about this? It is a fight, but I will call it out or whatever. Raizo, real Raizo hours,
dude. Real Raizo hours.
Jesus Christ, that was so sick.
That was so fucking
hit him with
tight.
the Uno reversal card on his ass.
Yes. And it's like, man, it's like, that's another fucking point. It's like, obviously these guys have a 20+ year fucking beef. Maybe they're tailoring their strategy and ability usage order. Like, all of these things that we're seeing right now is just like,
that's a good point.
What they've been planning for 20 years if they ever got face to face with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're tailoring their strategy and abilities around fighting Kaido specifically. That this is going to be when they're the most effective. This is why fucking, Kinemon got one-shotted by fucking Doflamingos, because he's meant to fight fucking Kaido, not Doflamingo. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why all of these characters seemed underwhelming up until this point, is because this is the moment that their characters have been waiting for in regards to combat and physical capability. It's all been to fight Kaido. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, Oda writes a comedic story. Sorry, he fucking made these characters fucking comedic relief. For a lot of arcs where they were involved, but they weren't the primary focus.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, you got fucking Kinemon, doing some lecherous shit. You got fucking Kanjuro eating hair, whatever the fuck he did.
But once it comes down to like, we need to take Kaido down, this is what these characters were written for.
Like, sorry, you forgot that like these guys put in work and that this is a comedy as well. And it's just like, that's a you problem. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like,
exactly. But I don't know, man. I'm super excited for like this like initial like clash phase of this war to be over. Though I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. But and I'm not trying to say that I think that this is taking too long here. Give me all of this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also ready for it to move into the phase of conflict where it does feel more like a Marineford, where there are localized, separated fights that don't have to be entirely, full power 1v1s until the end, but just like a little bit more of that, like, because when everything's chaotic and everyone like starts a fight here, does a couple fucking attacks, and then gets separated to fight somebody else, it doesn't feel like I can understand why people feel like that's not as satisfying as what they would expect from a conflict like this, especially coming out of the last major one, which was Marineford, that gave us literally all the fan service that we could fucking deal with, while having a really deep overarching like plot, movement as well. But in this right here, with how much buildup there is to it, this initial clash with all of this chaos, I can see how it can leave people with something to be desired from it. But at the same time, I understand how large scale this conflict is going to be, so I understand that they're going to spend a lot of time on that initial clash phase of the conflict. So it is going to seem like things are happening all over the place and things aren't being satisfyingly concluded right now, obviously, because pieces are being set where they're going to actually be serious. Like right now, people are literally just being thrown in at the fucking wall, and then wherever they fall is probably going to lead to more serious conflicts. But right now, it's just like that initial stage, I feel like, and it's just a patience thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, from a bird's eye point of view, like, this is going to hit way different than weekly, especially because of the breaks that are involved in Oda's schedule and how slowly it feels like it's getting to anything like wildly satisfying. But it's probably a huge war that we're going into right now. So so there's going to be a lot of setup for those really serious conflicts inside of it that's going to seem like sporadic, unfinished, teased fights. You know what I mean? But just wait till the piece is set. Wait till this shit really pops off, which I'm assuming we're leading into pretty soon here. But
end of the chapter, this Odin flashback stuff hits so hard for me. Like,
me too.
Like, oh damn, like why don't I'm trying to teach them this 2-sword style, they don't want to learn it, like why? And Lady Toki, just being like, they all love you so much. If you all taught them, they'd all fight each other and kill each other to be number one disciple. And so do you think that and in the flashback later also Odin mentions Ryo, right? And Kiko, you were saying like they all know Ryo. Like, do you think, even though Odin was like, God, why don't they learn two-sword style? You know what I mean? Like Oden Nitoryu.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they learn this shit? Do you think they actually were training on the side this entire time to not to still carry on his legacy? Like, I got that vibe too, right? Because they all pull it out.
They were all secretly like totally paying attention when he was teaching
that just
them.
slaps so hard.
Yeah, that's
my
such a
God.
good fucking moment.
This feels like an homage to the World's Strongest movie with fucking Roshi. Kamehameha, you know, and they all go down together. Krillin, they all get it. And it's like, that felt like, man, I don't know. Like, soon as I saw that, I'm like, because World's Strongest, fucking Dead Zone, and Triamite used to play like on loop forever and ever and ever. So I saw those 3 movies all the fucking time. But like, that's what it felt like to me. Like right away, like let's you know, throw that Dragon Ball, and that might not be, but like regardless, I'm sure we've seen things
Dragon
like
Ball
this.
influence on One Piece.
Sure.
So it's
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But
just amazing.
But
love that
phenomenal
scene, though. Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Eagle, I feel like you want to get in here. Like,
go ahead,
like,
bro.
I mean, the only thing I really had to bring up was like a while back. I didn't really want to circle back around to it.
No, we should, because I want to circle back
because
around
I have
too.
something I want to say too.
It was just the song thing. I don't know, just the placement of the dialogue bubbles above Momonosuke and Yamato. It made me think it was talking about Odin and Momonosuke.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Whoa. Wait a minute. When it says
two who wish to be united but could never be together.
That's it. That's probably it. I think that's it.
So then the key to this conflict could
it is inherited will. I was right.
It is inherited will. That could be evidence for that, but it could be a situation where like Yamato obviously is saying I'm Odin over and over again and chasing Momonosuke away, and Momonosuke is like running away. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is a gaggy moment in the comedic aspect of One Piece storytelling. But it could be a situation where once Momonosuke understands the situation of Yamato and like understands like what's actually happening and that it's not just some weirdo like chasing him, and it's like, wait a minute, no, let's align our, like, let's work together, let's come together on this. Like, once that happens, that'll be a huge tide shift in the conflict. Is once Momonosuke like jumps on the Yamato, you know, bus or train.
I got a big theory here that I just thought of based on what you're saying right now, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, based on what you're saying, Odin, Momonosuke being reunited, you can't be right. What the hell is a book? A book is a human being putting their thoughts psychically on pieces of wood and giving it to someone that you can telepathically get what they're doing through writing, right? Yamato has the fucking diary, the journal of Odin. What if Odin literally has a letter to Momonosuke in the journal? Like, to my son who has gone forward in time, or, you know, who might die for all I know. I'm going to die. Here's a letter to my son, and Yamato can give that letter to Momonosuke, and Momonosuke can get some big-ass morale boost power-up.
Yeah, and that will link, you know, the two who wish to be united but can never be together. Yes. They have that link now.
Yes.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
I knew the Black Maria song had inherited will in it too. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That was the only one though that I was like in this the whole, like every page. I'm like, man, how am I going to tie this one in there? And Eagle did it for me. Thank you. And I'm glad that we talk about Black Maria. I know, Knox, you want to circle around the beginning too, but like I want to talk about Black Maria still more here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, first of all, it's like, why are the prostitutes so happy? You know, like, why, you know, like, I just don't feel like prostitutes should be this happy and, like, worship the person who's keeping them in the brothel, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? Because this is Black Maria's brothel. And, and it's, is she hypnotizing him somehow? Like, I don't really know. See, but being that she's a giant snake person, you know, assumably fucking a Black Mamba, is she related to fucking Boa sisters? Like, is she from Amazon Lily? Like,
that'd be crazy.
And would she also have the same, like, so let me back up a little bit. So her running a brothel, what's the point of a brothel? To appease men. That's basically the exact opposite ideology of Amazon Lily, right? And she was fucking exiled by Lady Yon or whatever her name, you know, whoever was running shit before, you know, Boa or before Hancock. And so she gets exiled and she loves Kaido too. Like, that's another thing. It's like these women shouldn't be like subservient to men in any way, you know. And she clearly is in every fucking aspect of what she is. And it's, does she also like share the same qualities that Hancock does that basically can make people love them? You know, like I just don't know why these prostitutes would be so fucking happy. And obviously
they do seem a little bit too cool with the situation now.
Yeah. And it's just like, what other giant snake women are there, right? There's Sandersonia and Marigold. Like that's it, you know. And it's got to be like she's got to be from Amazon Lily. Like, and this could also be like why, like Amazon Lily, like Hancock is like a Shichibukai and is like tied with the world government, because it's like your sister is running with Kaido and you're fucking up the fucking world, and you need to not appease us, but like make up for it, whatever, I guess. And obviously like you could also just say like, you know, world government's going to take her island and say, no, this is fucking world government, you know. So there's always that too. But like, you know, that could also be a factor too. It's like, hey, your sister's fucking shit up for the government, so like you better get down, or we're about to for real take your shit over. So it's like, it's more than just we're gonna take your shit over, or you have to be a Shichibukai. There's a little bit more background to it than that. So that would make sense to me.
Hell yeah.
So,
big one.
Yeah. Last thing, the last point that I have about this chapter that I'm happy that we're just kind of circling back towards the beginning of the chapter to kind of like close up on earlier when Nick was bringing up this Big Mom panel on page 4 and like why she like looks the way she does and like what the intent behind her words could be. I made a comment earlier that I feel like I could make more sense now after thinking about it. But basically, originally I was saying about how like Big Mom is just like down for like the chaos and seeing how things pan out. But also I feel like that's still true. But what it has to do with it is how strong she is and how capable she is compared to everyone else on this sea. Like when you are so strong and you are so capable that you have a plan, you know, a confident plan of what you can do in any situation, even if things aren't going your way, like you're still excited to see how that chaos plays out because you're ready for anything. Like you could literally take any obstacle that comes your way, regardless of how things are going against maybe what you would have, you know, planned for. But like just knowing that you're so strong to deal with anything that happens gives us this intrigue and this excitement to see what that actually is inside of Big Mom. It's like, holy shit, well, what do you know, like, that's right, dead men give no orders, so do as you will. Like, what does that mean? I'm excited to see how this turns out, because no matter what happens, I'm going to be ready to deal with it. So I have no worries. And this is going to be really good entertainment for me if this does get super interesting. So absolutely, go ahead. I'm Big fucking Mom. Nothing can hurt me. Entertain me. You know what I mean? I feel like is what that scene kind of shows. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought us back to this page too, because right above her face, that giant fucking sword there, like I was just like, holy shit! Like that's got to be a numbers sword, I guess. But like
that's a big dumbass sword, bro.
That's the biggest sword in the history of this show. I would have. It's serious. Like I've never like. I don't remember. Did Oars have some kind of sword? Didn't not Oars Jr. Original? I don't know. But regardless, that's got to be a number sword. That's just super tight. That like Big Mom is dwarfed by a sword that's way off into the distance behind her. It's literally fucking a Burj Khalifa, like the tallest building in the world made into a fucking sword. Like it looks like literally that big, like from where they're standing. Like because
it's big as fuck, bro.
How far back into the background is that sword? That's just fucking crazy. But I mean, I got a couple other things too. Kaido's roaring turning into lightning, is that a like Conqueror's hockey thing?
Where is that?
That's when he's fighting the scabbards.
What page though?
9. It's Raizo saying it. His roaring turns to lightning. And he roared, and it's like the whole ground is fucking cracking, and there's lightning hitting the ground. Right. So like it's got to be more than Conqueror's hockey, I guess. But like I don't know.
Maybe would know it would be black lightning, right?
I don't know. I mean, there's lore with like Eastern dragons controlling weather and shit. So
I think it might be a dragon ability. Yeah,
and that makes sense too. It's just that
he was or Thunder Bagua. Like Thunder
Bagua too. Okay, that makes sense too. I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head because, you know, Kinemon cuts the blast burn, which was made of fire, and it's like, okay, now we got lightning, and that, like you said, those were great reasons why. But yeah, just the minks have electro. Like I was just hoping that like I don't want to say that Kaido is a mink, but there's just some kind of link there that maybe like the Zoan fruits can tap into Electro, being that they are because like are humans going to be able to tap into Electro, since now that we see that fucking Jinbei has Haki, but he also has Fishman Karate, and then Koala has Fishman Karate. So it's like these things that you wouldn't think that are interchangeable between these races are. Yeah. So like I don't know, is Electro going to be something that can fucking be something here?
It's like a shared skill. Man,
there's a good couple of things I still have. Carrot only has one glove on, the one right-handed glove, and Pedro gave her those gloves, and that's her weapon that she can use against swordsmen. Like, because Pedro, those are all the swordsmen, right? Like, because Pedro and Shishilian, and they're all part of Inarashi's group, which are swordsmen. They aren't, so like they gave her something to be a swordsman. I don't really know like what that has to do with anything, but why would we just see her with one gauntlet on? I think that's a good question to raise.
That is a good question. Yeah, I never even noticed that.
Yeah, what else did I have? Just real quick, trying to get some of this stuff out here that are kind of smaller points. Kiku and Izo use the same exact ability, same exact attack, but one's with guns and one's with swords. That's super fucking tight. Like they're both slicing. Yeah, it's the same attack.
I didn't. Yeah, visually, you're saying like
yes,
like because there's fallen snow scythes.
Yeah, those
and slicing rounds, but it's just circles.
The bullet in the middle.
Yeah, those are Kikus. Those are Kikus. The ones that don't have the bullet in the middle are Kiku slashes.
Wait, what page?
13.
14.
Yeah.
Well, it's 14 on Manga. Yeah, when you said that, the page spread was wrong too. Well, obviously they're all going to be according to Viz versus Manga Plus. I don't know what Manga Plus has an extra page in there. I don't know what
it has. Like just a blank page that says One Piece on it.
Okay.
13, probably 14 on Manga Plus.
Yeah. But yeah, so
snow sides, slicing rounds. Yeah.
Yes. They're basically the same attack. One has bullets in the middle and one doesn't. It's same shit.
That's so fucking sick. I didn't even notice that, bro.
Yeah. Inarashi can use Santoryu. Obviously he hasn't, but he has a Lego that's made of a sword, and he's using fucking Nitoryu right now. So now we got a new Santoryu user out here.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then last one real quick. I mean, I'm sure everybody noticed this, but we didn't say it yet, is that they're reopening the Odin's wound. They're hitting exactly in the same spot that Odin hit him. So that's important.
Can't wait to see what Kaido looks like after this, after this attack. Look, bro. Now that he's been hitting the exact, they've all gotten their little shit off. They've all gotten their individual attacks. They've bum rushed him. They've taken full advantage of this sneak attack.
Yep.
Now that they've hit him and they've rallied in this way and they've done the damn thing for 10 chapters, however long this conflict has lasted so far, and now that they've hit him in the exact same spot that Odin got him, Kaido's gonna actually turn the fuck up. This is the last good will moment, fuck yeah scabbards that we're going to see, and Kaido's literally about to activate in the most serious way that we've seen so far. He's coming directly out of this attack.
I don't think he's gonna go into hybrid form versus these guys. I don't think he needs it. I think he's going back into human form, Oni form, whatever, and just beat the brakes off him with the Thunder Bagua, big mace him up. But
I think that he's going to get more serious after this attack than we've seen him so far up.
Definitely. I agree. I mean, at least since he Thunder Bog with Luffy, which actually is going to be more serious than that. And if that's the case,
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if he is more serious than that, he's killing them. These are all the scabbards are dead. I mean,
definitely. I feel like we're looking at a one shot. All 9 of them get taken out in one fell swoop.
That'd be crazy. It could be just him sweeping and hitting all of them it looks like one motion, but it's him just real quick, or just it doesn't have to. I think you're mostly right. I agree mostly that it's going to be one big, giant, grandiose thing that he's about to fuck him up with. But yeah, it would be crazy if it was just one swing completely.
Literally one swing, and they all just go flying.
It's like Asha Doji's in the front, and then he hits Nekomamushi, and he hits Izo. And it's like a cartoon where they're all 9 of them are stuck to the back as a home run knocks them off the pipe. That'd be fucking funny. But I guess another thing I thought of real quick is, what we know about skin tissue, right? It gets stronger. That scar is the strongest part on his body. basically, right?
Yeah,
right.
Maybe.
Wouldn't you think? I mean, scarring when your skin tissue
according
scars,
to scar tissue, yeah.
When skin tissue scars, it's stronger than the previous skin tissue that was there.
Yeah.
So, like theoretically, that's the strongest part on his body. So, I mean,
but
does that mean anything in the story?
Probably hurts the most to get hit there for him because of the memories. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Psychologically, for sure. Like that's what really matters, with that attack for sure. But it's just like a good thing to note. It's like he's been painted as impenetrable. Like cannot cut him, cannot damage him. So it's like to damage theoretically the strongest skin tissue on his body is pretty cool. That's just pretty cool. Like I like it. Which you guys are just right that's more about the psychological aspect of that for sure.
Yeah, but that's still a cool thought though, for sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, for sure. That's just what it is. It's a thought. Yeah. I don't think there has any like significant relevance to that, but it's cool for sure.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I'm good on this week, man. This chapter this week. What a conversation we had. Who knows how long it is, but that was very thorough.
Yeah,
I feel like
400 hours.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are working at a double tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hopefully this combo lasts the whole shift. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Right. Well, hell, I think that'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, be sure to slap a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure while you're down there that you also subscribe to the channel and slap that notification bell and stay up to date on when the new content is coming out. Also, while you're down there, hit that comment section. Let us know what you thought of this Weekend Jump. Ask us questions, chop it up, whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
Also, as we said at the beginning, visit that link tree in the description box down below where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to support the podcast and the channel if you would be so kind.
Yes.
I'm tired. Such as
a long night.
Links to our Patreon where you can obviously subscribe to different tiers of extra content that we release, ranging from early access to all of our content all the way up to a second weekly Shonen-centric podcast that we do covering 5 different books. So, with all that being said, this will be another incredible, stupendous, fantastic week in Jump and episode of the Project Manga podcast wrapping up. I'm your host, Eagle.
Peace, y'all. It's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
Sarabada.